Hello. It's a long time since we've been in here. How's everyone doing? Long time no see. Look what we have. We got a new toy to play with. Oh, without me knocking the Xbox controller right. Let's turn some sound up so you can actually hear what's going on. But yes, we are finally back after a long little hiatus of another year. Seems to be a very common theme with me. How is everyone in the chat? Everyone excited? We get to do a bit of winter ops in Toronto. So we're going to be doing a short little rotation to Montreal and back. In the Air Canada A321, obviously by FSLabs. We have and then we have the raid. Thank you, Mr. Black Box, with 263 of you. Thank you very much. I was watching and at the same time trying to get my sim working because I was having a few little issues beforehand. But yes, thank you for keeping everyone showing it, the wonderful aircraft off, and then hopefully I can continue the trend and not break it too much, I'm sure. Right, let's have a look at the chat. Can I turn myself up? I can turn myself up, yep. Let's do a little bit of that. Is that a bit better? A bit better? Yes? No? No? Yes? Thanks to all the new followers coming in. Thank you again, Black Box, for the host. Still too low? Much better? Okay, thank you. It's so nice having the little kind of twisty knobs here to actually be able to do it quickly. Right. Martin complaining that we're flying subsonic. Well, it's not like last year when I last streamed, obviously when it was Concorde release. Now it's obviously something a little bit slower, but oh so good. Let's have a look what we got. Let's go right to the top. Who have we got? I saw Mr. Duncan subscribing for 10 months. Thank you, Duncan. But yes, hello to everyone. Someone asked about do option to load. Yeah, so Duncan said answered that one. Scrolling down. Everyone's saying better. Good day. Ironbound. Hello. Audio checks out. Thank God. Hello, everyone. Everyone's saying hello to you all. Oh, Zuja's here. Hello. Annie. Hello. Right. Shall we have a look around, shall we? Rather than me just looking at the chat the whole time. So I can use just one controller, which obviously I'm still getting used to using for doing the views and stuff. So yes, we are in the obviously soon to be released FSLabs A321. So we're flying a CFM wingtip fence today for Air Canada, obviously in one of their older paints. Obviously it's a bit different to the current one with the kind of almost like a mask over their windows on the cockpit. So yeah, it does look good. Yeah, £5,000 an hour pure fishing glory. Yes, absolutely. But yeah, so it's a little bit snowy right now, so we're going to have to think about that for when we start her up and start taxiing out. Norman, thank you for your 7 months. Very kind. Very, very, very kind. Yeah, she's looking good. She's looking good. You can hear the little clicking of the CFM engines clicking away slightly. So yeah, little things to be thinking about, Dean. Fan blade de-icing, always a thing to be thinking about, because obviously when the temperature's a bit lower and you're in winter conditions, you do need to think about engine run-ups, everything like that. All those funny things. Dan, hello, I'm back. I know, it's kind of almost scary that I'm back on your screen. Can we look inside? Inside the flight deck? Inside the cabin? Which one do you want to see? We can do both. We can obviously kind of sneaky in. Not a real pilot, thank you for the new sub. We can see the lovely cabin here. Obviously no passengers on right now, but obviously we'll change that very shortly once we've gone through. Inside my soul. Yes. Yes, so you can see there is a modelled cabin. Obviously people think there wouldn't be, but there is one, which has been nicely modelled. I think there's more to come from it as well at some point in future updates, but no, it's a nice little starting point, really. Not a BA cabin in the leg space. No, that's true. There's miles too much leg room there to be BA. Right, shall we get inside the flight deck, shall we? It's a bit narrow. It's the 320. It's not a very wide aisle in the real thing either. They think they can only just fit these with the people. Obviously, there's front doors to the jetway. It's snowing a little bit through the outside a little bit. Right, shall we get inside? Right, we don't do that, and then that's. It would help if I still know how to do the controls in this thing. There we are. Finally back into the flight deck. I am still absolutely useless with the controls in MSFS, so I can only imagine when I start 24 up, because I still haven't installed it. That's not going to be fun. Tony, hello. Dan, well, we'll see. Obviously, I would like to, I've kind of been trying to find a time or something to start me streaming again. This is quite a good little thing to start me streaming again, I think. Yes, just trying to see if anything else. No, cool. So yeah, so in the flight deck of the 321, so it's obviously a bit miserable outside. See the raining and snowing and horrible outside. So as I said, yeah, we'll have to think about that a bit later on. Obviously, those of you who have been in Black Box's chat have obviously seen a lot of this already. At some point, I will bring in Duncan, Andy, and Lefteris. Obviously three of the devs from FSLabs. We'll talk to them a little bit later on as we kind of pass through, kind of go through things, ask them questions. Obviously, you guys will have questions. You can ask away through me, and we'll definitely get some stuff through. Questions answered, hopefully, ready for when this releases in the foreseeable future. What can I talk about to start with, shall we? So obviously I was having a cheeky little look before I started the stream to see what was wrong with my aircraft. Always nice to see. So obviously we've opened the tech log. So this aircraft's fairly old now. Hey, Annie, thank you very much for 6 months. Thank you very much. But yes, so you can see on here we've got a few little things that are in up with the aircraft, all non-performance related. So we've got on our level 1s, we've got lav and galley fan faults. It's dispatched, CATC, so that sort of thing. It's all fine. It expires in 9 days. Usually CATC is 10 days or so that will usually get fixed within that. And also, fairly common thing that we see on defects, especially on the smaller fleets with the smaller ovens. Forward oven is dirty. So obviously people have been cooking stuff without the foil covers on, making them really dirty or cooking their own stuff. So, Dean, so is the ML dynamic or fixed per reg? So, it is per aircraft. So obviously, I could take, if I do this flight now, land, either turn my sim off or do a return flight. If something's happened, then usually something could be added to the MEL. So if you had a failure during the flight. But if I close the sim, bugger off, basically leave it for like a month or even a day, load the sim up again, be like, oh, I've not flown that in a while, load it up, it'd be a different MEL. It's not always the same MELs in here. So stuff will fix themselves over time. It's as if the aircraft is being used while I'm not flying it. Like the real world, we don't just kind of get off a plane, kind of go home, come back the next day onto the same plane. Like, we'll kind of do whatever we like onto other aircraft and stuff. Those planes are still flying when we're not on it. So that's what this is kind of simulating a little bit with that. So the MEL's always different. You're not just like, oh, galley fanning up again, like 9 days, it's fixed, and then kind of it's always the same for those 9 days. Every day you load the sim up could be something different. Where are we flying to? Yes, we're off to Montreal from Toronto. So as I said, we get a little bit of bad weather. I say bad weather, a bit of cold weather ops out here. Another useful thing as well, I was just saying about obviously planes IRL normally fly when we're not flying them because you change crews and stuff. You can do this with this the tech log that's on here. You can copy and give it to someone else. So if someone else has this reg, like for example in a virtual airline or something like that, you could take that, send it to them and say like, right, I've just flown it, here you are, this is what's wrong with it, have at it basically. And then someone can use that, so obviously it picks up all the aircraft hours, the engine hours, the cycles on it will all go up, and then obviously you can just kind of accumulate all those stuff. So I can look at the flight history. Obviously I've not flown this particular reg before, so obviously there's no flight history. But obviously if you kept doing it, so if you were like, okay, I've done a flight or 2 flights, send it to someone else, they do some more flights, send it back if you want to fly again, you will see the whole list of all their aircraft. So you can laugh at their landing G-load, you can land at their landing rate, see if they're being good, seeing if they'll be landing a flap 3 instead of flap 4, because we know that's the best of flap, which everyone seems to disagree with me, but flap 3 is better. Yeah, I'm going to move it. Yeah, move it on. Yeah. But yeah, so that's the sort of things you can do with the tech log. So I remember a long time ago in BA Virtual, I knew the Mungo would come up with the incorrect. A long time ago at BA Virtual, they used to have a thing called Bavware, which worked really well with the 777 and the 747. So you could literally, again, similar sort of thing, take their sort of the hours and stuff that the aircraft has accumulated with some failures or whatever, and send on that file to someone else who can then download it and say like, oh, so I've got all these failures from before, or this so many hours are built up, so it was really good for like time-based failures or something like that, which some people have, which people could do before. So yeah, it's a nice little feature. Yeah, so configs and everything like that all kind of comes across as well. What else can I think about in here before we go? Obviously, if we needed to, for whatever reason, we can look at the if we needed to do any maintenance to the aircraft, the usual sort of stuff that you'd expect from the FSLabs from before. Obviously, the most important one in the world for those who are in short haul most of the time, or low cost short haul, the wonderful clean the cockpit windows, rather than having to open the window, kind of reach out and like try and wipe down the windows. It's not very. It's quite funny seeing passengers' reactions to it from the terminal when they take photos. Go, what the hell are they doing? Have I tried to put it in the MS-24 community folder? I have not, no, because I'm not that stupid. Yeah, all shores seem low cost these days. No, so I've not. Yeah, I've not. As I said, I've not even installed 24 yet. That's on my list to do this coming week. So I'll definitely do that. Oh, I do like the BDGS with the sim brief connection. That's always nice seeing the stuff for the flights. Right, I'm getting distracted. Right, all the little things that I was just kind of looking at. So on this Takeoff, so again, the options and stuff you can choose per airframe as you could in the old one. So this one doesn't have a DDRMI, it doesn't have CPDLC, so there's no duck-dos. It looks like the old ISIS model, I think. I'm trying to just look around all the little things that are different. There's not so much different on the overhead, no. So yes, it's a fairly standard, slightly older 321, as most wingtip fence 321s are. Does FSLabs simulate cabin temp? Like if you open the doors, the cabin will cool down. Well, let me show you that, because obviously the door's open. I've not turned any conditioning on. Let's look at the temperature inside the cabin. It's pretty cold right now. It's so cold, it's got some lovely amber X's. So let me start the APU up, shall we? Just kind of get that. Actually, before I do that, let's do a nice little fire test to make sure it's all fine. And we'll get some temperature stuff going in there. Get the APU on, get some temperature in there. Test those bings and bongs, absolutely. Right, so we're waiting for that to start up. And then, yeah, once we've done that, we'll start to kind of think about loading up, getting GSX on the move, because that's all integrated now. Don't have to touch anything, which is so nice. Can I open the window? Can I open the window? Well, yes, you can. And obviously, if I want to try and close it, I can't, so I can obviously pull that one, and I can close it again. Because people seem to think you just open and close it. There is a little latch there, which if I open it again, you'll see. Go a bit further back so you can see it. So this little latch here, it kind of locks itself, so you have to pull it to then close the window again, which is obviously nice and realistic. Ooh, we don't forget that. Big spot, there we are. Yep, number of passengers aboard does affect everything. Right, APU's available. Right, let's get the APU bleed on. And yeah, cool. So let's kind of run through as I normally would, getting on. So go on the overhead first, kind of make sure everything's fine with this. We're on ground control on for the TVR, so it's recording everything I say now before the engine starts. We can probably just hear the packs coming on there with the APU bleed that's obviously kicked in, which is always nice. Nice little environmental sounds kind of picking up. Let's get the ADS on. Fuel pumps on. Actually, we'll leave the sensors off for now because we need some fuel. They're already on. They're already on. That's all looking nice there. We'll do a quick engine fire test. Just scroll down here, make sure that's all good. And then do the number 2. Yep, that's all looking nice. Cool. Bring it on down a little bit more. Just obviously this is still the pre-flight sort of flow. Foot warmer, most essential bit of equipment is on. Thank God, so my feet are going to be nice and warm. Someone's asking about the seat movement sounds. Where's the click spot? I always forget where the click spot is for the seat itself. There you go. Someone asking about does the chair make a noise? It does indeed. Just for you, E-Tops. Just for you. Ah, Ridgy! It's Mr. Ridge. How are you doing? Cool. Moving on down. That's all looking nice. Nice. That's in 1. That's off. 2,000. Perfect. So let us move down here and let's start some of this flow off for getting everything boarded. So for those of you who had the FSLabs in P3D, this should all look very familiar, like the way I do this now. So obviously into the Mukdu, into the Atsu, all very familiar so far. AOC, again, all very familiar. This should be very easy to run through. It's obviously realised I've done it through SimBrief, so it syncs up with that. So I'm Air Canada 414, and I can init data request. So that should then populate everything from SimBrief. So we got Toronto, Montreal, flight time of 48 minutes. That's all looking very nice. Obviously it's received, so now if I go into close that, you can see it's uploading the flight plan. We can go into here. There. So Toronto, Montreal, all looking good. Echo 414, everything's uplinked. Let's get some wins as well while that's doing that. We can go back into here. So I can compare this to obviously what my OFP is. So on my OFP, I was expecting to load with 7 tons. That's what I have here, 7 tons, 270 taxi fuel, a little bit of trip fuel. It's got us departing in 15 minutes. Let's push that out a little bit to 20:15, so it gives us a nice half an hour. It's a nice, decent amount of time to do everything. Does the PA work like it did in P3D? It does indeed. You can record your stuff, listen to it like you could before. What do you think about the fonts they use as a real world? The fonts in the FSLabs are correct. These are what the fonts look like in an Airbus. So that's all I had to say, really. Right. We're going to refuel via GSX. Let's send that away. So obviously, while that's doing that, GSX now be called up without me touching it. I don't have to do anything like that. No menus popping up, nothing like that. And GSX will be called. Should hopefully get a load sheet. We have indeed got a load sheet. So we can compare everything. So currently 30th of November, so I've got the date wrong. It's the 1st of December now. From Toronto to Montreal, obviously that's our reg, 2 and 5, so 2 in the flight deck, 5 in the cabin. 0 fuel weight, obviously long way below our max. Takeoff fuel, takeoff weight, again a long way below our max takeoff weight, so obviously doing quite a short flight. Pace 2, that's how much trip fuel, landing weight, below max landing weight, which is always good. That's also our limiting weight, that's what the little L there is for, saying that's our limiting weight. So if we put like another 5 tons more fuel on, we're still going to be nowhere near our max 0 fuel weight, because fuel doesn't count in that. And we're nowhere near our max takeoff weight, because that's like 90 odd tons. That would then affect our max landing weight. So obviously that's the first limit we're going to hit. And obviously, yeah, as I said, that is our unload. So if we put another 6.4 tons of fuel on board, that would then bust our max landing weight. So obviously a bit of a faff. You'd have to burn some fuel off before you could land. Use of air, number of passengers, 25.4, 23.4 for us, max 0 fuel weight, max tau, seating zones, next page, more little things, potable water, so they filled it to 100%. That's our basically all the catering and stuff. Kathleen Wooten has prepared it for us, there's a number, and expecting 7 tons. Right, that all looks good, so we can accept that. We can go back, we have a message as well, which is just a slot thing, so expected to depart at 8:15, so as I said, in a little while, and that's the time it's expecting us to take off. So that's based on our fuel plan, which had 20 minutes of taxiing, so that's why the difference between the EOBT and the CTOP is 20 minutes. And as you can see, there is no delay. So that's all good, we like that. Wind is uplinked, so while that's doing that, we can continue with boarding, so we can think about that. So fuel, hopefully should be on its way. Haven't heard the fuel arrive yet. Let me, while it's doing that, go onto the boarding page. So that's all looking good. So this is kind of what it got from the load sheet, basically, so you can see how much fuel and everything's expected, so passengers and cargo. Lots of requests, so obviously we can board now if we wanted. We could do some catering before if we wanted, so obviously we're not going to do any catering today, it's only a short flight. I think I can hear the fueling now. Yes, so I can just about hear it. So yeah, we started refueling. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to request boarding in 10 minutes. So it shouldn't be too long, really, to board this. 15-20 minutes normally is how long it takes to fully board a 321. So yeah, so we'll start that in 10 minutes. So it means you can suffer me talking at you for a little while, right? So let me request that. So that is on its way. while that's all going on, let's do the I'll move it over slightly so you can see the keypad. So first page is all done, so we can do the flight plan page. So the reason we do the flight plan page first before we do init B is if you do init B first, this is more of an Airbus thing rather than obviously like as a simmer you're not really going to notice it, but a thing which is really annoying in the Airbus is if you do the init B page first and then do the flight plan page, you are constantly going to get the like not please wait, but like it's going to get complaining you because obviously you're trying to rush it, and every single time you're adding a waypoint or whatever, it's going it's calculating everything. It's like calculating, okay, so this is what we're climbing at, this is what we're descending at, this is the speed, blah blah blah. So it's doing all its calculations. But if you do all this before and then do init B, it does one calculation. So it's a lot better. So you can do things a lot faster. Right, let me have a look what the weather is actually before. So grab the weather. So this is, again, most of this stuff, if you've used the P3D FSLabs, this is all very familiar. There's just a lot more stuff going on underneath helping you out. Airlines Live, hello. Long time no see indeed. Do a walk around. We will do a walk around very shortly. We're just going to set the box up, then we're going to do a walk around. Obviously, the passengers will be boarding in 8 minutes, so we will do everything. Don't you worry. Right, so let's see what your message. So we've got Toronto, 26020, gusting 26. Nice day out. 15 statute miles, light showers of snow. So as I said, got to think about some de-icing. Scattered, broken, 1 degree, so nice and cold. 2992. And some lovely remarks, which I still don't understand, even though I fly to America all the time. So, Canada has the same stuff as America. Before you think I just mean that Toronto's in America. I'm not that stupid, honest. Right, so we runway 23 for departure, and we are departing. Diff rips, yeah, diff rips is one of the ways, more DI frips, because obviously you've got 2 init pages, not just the one. So, departure, we are expecting to depart on the Dead Key 5. So, let's go on to that one, Dead Key 5, out via Miglo. So we'll put that in. So obviously a nice little, just a turn after departure, then a discontinuity. And then we are expecting to land on 24 right in Montreal. And that is via the HAB 7. So HAB 7 via Miglo. That's straightforward. So that's all in. As I said, it doesn't need to calculate anything yet because you put no weights in. So that is why we now do this after. So for that, I need my initial load sheet. So 67 point, we'll round out, 67.2 slash maxi off your weights 25.4. That can go there. We're loading 7 tons on board, so 7 tons can go in there. One calculation, much easier, right? YYR. What else? CYYZ. That's not. Oh, I blame Simbrief. I did actually have CYUL, which was Ottawa, which was my original one. So I don't know why Simbrief decided to change that on me. Cool. So that all looks nice. 5% en route, fairly standard. So reckons 55 minutes. All of that's in there. Final fuel. So we got an extra hour because obviously it's not. I did put a bit of extra fuel on for the taxi for the ice. I put an extra ton on, so there is a little bit extra weight in there. So there's a nice bit of fat, which is really what you want to be. You don't want to be taking min fuel around on a wintry day because obviously de-icing, having to taxi around a lot more. If you have to start your engines, taxi somewhere to be de-iced, it adds time. You want extra fuel. You don't want to be going with the min fuel. You gotta use your brain. Cool. So that's done. Flight plans all done. If we do have an emergency, we'll come back here. Maybe 05. No, not 05. Maybe 2. Alright. Yeah. If we came back in. Performance page, we'll leave this back for now. We'll do performance in a bit. Fuel prediction was already the same. Secondary, we'll just keep a copy. Right. Shall we go outside and do a little bit of walk around, shall we? Let's do that one. So, where's my little controller? Fuel are doing stuff. Right, let's just go there. There we are. Right, so let's. There'd usually be a little door here that I can walk out to go down the steps. Oh no, there we are. As if I'm magic. So we can get out the little steps. Pretend we're in MSFF 2024 with a new walk around mode. and we can have our little walk around. So, usual sort of stuff. We're checking on the exterior, so we're checking the static ports, making sure there's no dents or anything like that. Does it work with debrief? I'm looking at what you guys are all saying. Yes, the debrief all still works. The slot stuff is usually just the FSLabs kind of takes an educated guess. Obviously, I know some on VATSIM there are some slot things kind of coming in, which would be really cool if that starts to get integrated. But again, there's only a few ARTCCs that actually uses it. So right, checking the angle of attack. Vanes are all good. Obviously, it's quite cold, so we'd expect the inlet door to be closed because it's so been cold. Wheels looking nice. No hydraulics or anything kind of leaking out. You can tell the parking brake light. The parking brake is on because the light right here is on. So that means the parking brake is on. Moving on back, so we check the oxygen discharge, so you can see the little green circle. That's good. If that wasn't there, it means the oxygen bottle has been used. Basically, it needs to be refilled, recharged. Probes looking good. Accelerator probe looking good. Other static ports looking good. Under the nose, no little dents or anything like that. All looking very nice. Basically the same the other side. iMic, no, it's not going to be on Xbox, sadly. Yeah, all looking good. As I said, the outflow for the avionics equipment vent is closed again because, as I said, it's in the closed config. So that's all looking good. We're not boarding yet, so these doors are closed. Just checking under here, making sure there's no damage, nothing's kind of leaking where it shouldn't. There'd normally be a little bit of water coming out here if someone's poured something down the drain. Continuing on, ram air, check it's clear. Fuel. So the fuel panel's open because the refueler's here. Moving on under the wing, so yeah, looking good. No ice under there, which is always nice. Just checking the gear. No excessive fluid. We'll kick the tyres usually, just to pretend that we know what we're doing. Looks like the tyre's been retreaded. You can see the little ridge around here, which means that it's a retreaded tyre. Yeah, all looking good. No hydraulic fluid, anything like that around there. Yeah, that's all looking good. So I'm going back around this side. Yeah, nothing sticking out. We check underneath, make sure there's no catches. None of the cowling catches are open. Nice. Front hand side. Spinning a windmilling itself in the wind. Yeah, that looks all nice. He's finished by the look of it. 2,990. Oh, I'm not paying for that, so it's all fine. Yeah, check everything this side. All looking very nice. We're gonna walk around here. Just walk over this. Yeah, so that's all looking nice. Fuel is obviously finished. We're on system 1, so the light's working, so we can see the green light. Static wick's all looking very nice. Under here, we check that the overpressure, the discs that are in here, that they're in one piece. So if I zoom in, you can just about see under there. There is a little cross, a little white cross, which says that the disc is still in one piece. So that's always good. Carrying on, flaps looking nice. We'll try not to get run over by Mr. GSX Refueler Man. Hello, mate. Carrying on, just checking the back, all free and clear. Yeah, all looking very nice. Now, very important thing. Hello, Collier. Very, very important thing which you need to do, especially with the FSLabs now. Back here, you may see, if I zoom in a little bit, there's breakware pins. These are fully simulated, so these will move as the breakware decreases. Oh, sorry, so breakware increases, so there's higher breakware, obviously. So these will start going down, and obviously when they get to about here, then they're basically, they need to be changed. And you do need to think about that in the FSLabs, because once they go there, you need to change your brakes. Unless you like brake failures, to be honest. That's a Neo thing, Mongoloid. They changed the wheels on the 321 Neo. So yeah, moving on back, checking the outflow valve. Outflow valve is good and free and clear. DSX is opening all the cargo holds. As I said, it started boarding. I've not touched anything. I've just been walking around, and obviously boarding has commenced, which is always fun, which I'm sure Mungo will attest to. Trying to get back onto the aircraft.
We are ready for pushback.
And good old GSX. So, you wonder why you just heard ready for pushback. that is, obviously, for those of you who use GSX, which I assume most of you do, if you now have the Connect tug on boarding, it does the same audio as if you push back, and it's really annoying, and I really wish Alberto fixes that, because it's a little thing which I hear every time. I'm like, oh, I haven't called for push yet.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
It's just because it's boarding, and it's connected to the tug nice and early. So yeah, on the back, nice looking tail, everything's looking good here. See the nav lights getting deafened by the APU exhaust. Yeah, that's all looking nice. Kind of carrying on, checking again. All no dents, nothing that we wouldn't have seen in a. So with some tech logs have a literal picture of the aircraft and they kind of point out all the dents. So at EasyJet they have that, but where I am now they do not. Right, back under here, make sure it's good. Checking under here again. Yeah, lights all looking good. Checking the wheels. So yeah, so actually you can see here, this one here, this brake on the right is actually got more wear, so it's been used more than this wheel. So they are, as I say, they are dynamic. They do move. So if you did like 5 flights in a row, you may notice a slight difference to like just one flight. So. Yeah, damage chart. That's it exactly. Which obviously EasyJet has. I assume some other airlines do, but where I do, they do not. They just leave it up to us to kind of find the faults. Cool, that all looks good. Vents all look nice. Moving back along here. Side of the wicks look nice. System 1, so the red side, they're looking good. Could just about see the little white cross there. Carrying on, almost finished now. Checking under here. Yeah, they're not. The latches are all closed. Engine looking nice, we're milling away. And you just check the front. There are no brake pins on this side. You just kind of just checking there's no hydraulic fluid. Kick the tyres. Again, pretending we know what we're doing. And yeah, that's pretty much a walk around of the 321. Yeah, so we kind of go back inside and we'll carry on. Obviously, boarding has commenced. Paper set log in the flight deck. So no, if you're e-logs, you don't have a paper really. What's the point of having paper if you're electronic? Coolio. So what I can actually do, so fuel is complete, so we can go up here, turn on the sensor fuel tanks, we can turn on the seatbelt sign. Everything on the overhead is now pretty much complete. What we can actually think about is getting out of here once the passengers are on. So, before we do that, let's fill in the fuel reports, would be good. 5841, which is what the refuelers uplinked to us. Fuel difference of 100 kilos. That is perfectly fine within tolerance, so we can leave that. We'll send that off. Yeah, as I said, we can look at what we're going to be doing for departure. So, we are going to need de-icing, and obviously we need to push back at some point. But before we do that, let's have a look. Why is the rain moving upwards? Is that because of it's snowing? Oh, there's wind on the aircraft. Wind moves the rain around. That's why it's moving on the windscreen. Black, hello. I'm missing questions. What's Duncan asking? Do General get load sheets through AOC or EFB in non-present life? So in real life, you mean? So in real life, it depends on the airlines. So some airlines do it like this, which is like BA, like Virgin Atlantic do it this. It's all through the AOC system. Airlines like EasyJet and like low-cost airlines typically will have paper load sheets still, as in they'll have figures on it. They type it into the EFB and it kind of goes, right, this is what it should look like. And kind of the thing I mean with that is if I go to the EFB and go to my balance, I can see, obviously I don't know if you saw this on Blackbox's stream, this is what we were planned, so this is all the stuff that we had on from our load sheets. This is what we currently have on board, so you can see seats are starting to randomly fill in as we finish boarding. That's obviously what we're planning to do weight-wise, and zero fuel weight-wise, and CFG-wise. That's what we currently are, because obviously they're boarding cargo. They've still got another 1,500 kilos of that. Still got another 80-odd passengers to get on. So it takes a little while. So this is the live CFG, basically, of what's going on. So yeah, that's how that works. And obviously see, if I go into the cabin, well, you can see from here, there are passengers getting on and sitting down. The good old GSX latest stuff where they put passengers on board, so we can kind of just spy on people. Hello.
First,
Also, yeah,
you
go
keep your
inside.
small items under the
Obviously, you
seat
hear
in
the
front
PA.
of you.
So everyone's
These
getting on.
include laptops, handbags, duty
So you
free,
can hear the PA
and loose
simulation
items of
still all on
clothing.
here.
Once you have safely
It's
stowed
quite
your
funny seeing
cabin bag,
them
please
duck
take
down
your
to
seat.
try and sit down.
To help us ensure a prompt departure,
it's all
we
working
would
nicely.
kindly ask that you...
So it has the 3D passengers. Yeah, so obviously, as I said, most low-cost airlines will manually type this into the iPad and kind of get this sort of graph and show where it should be, and obviously within limits, etc. While more of the legacy airlines will be through this, with the AOC sort of load sheets and final load sheets, stuff like that. Right, I got distracted. Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to talk about GSX pushback. So, obviously, departure. This is obviously what we'd like GSX to do. What I'd like to do is to be facing southwest, so we can press that. So that is now set. I don't need to think about that until pushback now, and even then, I just let GSX do it. If, for whatever reason, ATC are like, no, we need you to face northeast for whatever reason. You can just come back in here, press that one, and it's like, all right, I'll now face you northeast. You can change this until you release the parking brakes for the push. So you can have everything preset, and then if ATC pull a fastball on you, like, oh no, we need to nose right, or like face west or whatever, you can change all this up until your park brake is released, which is really nice. So you don't have to like think about it with GSX. De-icing, we're obviously going to need de-icing because it's like snowing right now, and obviously aircraft's been sat for a while in it. So, and in Toronto, they have de-icing areas. So if I go back in external view and look a bit more this way, it should be behind us, kind of over in this sort of direction. You can just about see them. So over here is the de-icing area. So what we're going to do, and magically there they are loading in. We are going to be de-icing the aircraft, so we need to go over here to de-ice. So for that, I can just get ready with it already. So I don't want to do 50. Let's do 75-25 Type 4, and we're going to do it on remote. We can also do it on push if we wanted to. So you'd literally de-ice then push. So, but I don't want to do that. I want to do a remote de-ice, and then because the remote stuff, because the scenery or the GSX profile has remote de-icing spots, I can choose the spot. So let's go, I think two center we do. So that's all ready to go. If I need one, I can get a follow me to help take me there, but I think I know where I'm going. So I'm going to leave that, but I'm going to say I want to go to pad 2C. Again, if ATC tell us to go to a different pad for whatever reason, you can change it in here before you get to the pad, which is really nice. Right, sounds like boarding's complete. We've got 5 minutes to go. I will at some point bring the devs in and so they can answer questions, but I just want to kind of get this through so we can start taxiing, pushing, and all that lovely stuff. So that's all done. We can leave that as it is. We're now waiting for our final load sheet to come through. Let's look back on the overhead, make sure we're off ground power, we don't need that anymore. Everything other than that is looking good. We haven't done any performance yet, so let's do some performance, shall we? Takeoff. Yes, EasyJet still, as Kian says, still use it. The great thing about this as well is it auto-populates based on what airport you're at, all the stuff. So it takes all this data from the AOC, your flight plan, everything like that. So it's like, right, okay, we're at Toronto, so it's filled it in for us. Weather is taken out all for us. It's raining, so I'm going to change it to wet. It doesn't take that in. You need to check wet or dry. It doesn't calculate for you. That's the same in the real world. We still have to choose wet, dry, contaminated, all that lovely stuff. Flex takeoff, yeah, anti-ice will be on. Engine anti-ice are on. Packs can be off, and we'll do an optimal config. We'll just see what it reckons we should do. Takeoff weight is what obviously it's getting from the AOC. That's again, MAC towers from the AOC. We'll calculate that, and that'll give us some lovely numbers. It won't give us the numbers because I haven't selected a runway. Let's choose a runway. Let's do full length runway 23. Calculate. There we are. So, lovely speeds down the left. So obviously we'll take the wet figure, which is obviously the more restricting. So 156, 159, 161, config 1, and flex 54, which is all nicely done all for us here. You can see obviously the max takeoff weight we can take off with is 93.5. No issue today. Obviously that's on the aircraft, and the actual payload limiting takeoff weight is 99.4. So we are fine even at max takeoff weight. Boarding's complete. Jetway's going off, which is nice. We just have the doors closed. So they're now waiting for me, which is very standard. Of course they're waiting for me. So yeah, all the data here as you would expect. Date in the top left. That is true. It says this is the 1st of November. That's kind of a little annoying. I will, obviously, I know Andy or Duncan will look at that. Final logic's here, so we'll just wait for that second. Let me, I can uplink the takeoff data from the EFB, so let's take that. So 56, 59, 61, that's as it was. Flat 1, 54 degrees, so that's all good. We like that. We'll leave that all as is. I could have manually filled it in, but uplink takeoff's a nice little button to press. So we have some revisions. So the weight's changed enough that it's bring all revisions. It's basically a new load sheet almost. So we've lost 11 passengers. So they obviously saw I was flying. I was like, don't want to fly with him. We'll get off. So 11 passengers haven't come. So we'll have to change the weights in here. It's actually, the weight's less as well. So I won't really bother changing the performance. So let's do that now. Let's just change the weights. So our new zero fuel weight is 66.2. So we've lost a ton. And our Mach 0 fuel weight is still 25.4. So we'll change that. Block fuel is still pretty much 7 tons. So that's all looking good. You were one of them, of course you were, Muggy. You just don't want to fly with me. Right, we can accept that. So that's all done. Everything's done in there pre-flight. Bring that onto the fuel page. Sorry, the perf page, because I'm pilot flying. I have the perf page, so it's all good. Yeah, so we are good for pushback, I guess. Everything's good up there. Everything's good down here. Shall we get going, shall we? Put the armrest up so I can see what's going on down here. So let's call GSX. Let's get them all ready to go. Before I do that, I'm just going to set my initial stuff based on my departure. Let's see what the initial climb is out here, because this is the problem when you're streaming, that you always forget kind of some of the little things because you're going to focus on other things all the time. So it's just like, right, what is the initial climb out here? Dead key. Initial climb is 5,000, so let's set 5,000 in the window. Oh, it does look nice with the little bit of, you can see a little bit of wear around the buttons and stuff. You can see the buttons that we use a lot because they're worn down. QNH is set. It's 2992. Thank you. See, 2992. If I look at the weather, do we look at it? Oh look, 2992. Calling me a rookie. I already had the QNH set. Actually, I'm saying that we're actually going to be pushing on times. I said about 8:15 and we're at 8:14. Still stands, it doesn't stand. No, Nathaniel. Right, let's call GSX. So the usual thing, intercom. And now we'll wait for GSX to do its stuff. I don't need to touch anything.
Engines, please stand by for engine start until push is completed and brakes are set.
Alright, cool. So that they'll now do all their lovely things. And then we shall, when it asks us to, so before that, we'll turn the beacon on, turn the transponder on, and yeah, we are good to go. I'm going to leave this up on the AOC for a bit. Up close to the FCU, of course we can. Getting lifted up by the tug.
Release parking brakes, please.
So yeah, you can see the nice bit of wear around everything. It does look nice, and the actual indents of the little buttons. So you can see the AP1 and 2 buttons are very well used, funnily enough. So yeah, it does look good. A little bit of wear. Nice little LCDs. Nice digits. The right digits. Cool. So they've given us clearance to release parking brakes. So brakes released.
Due to icing
for an
conditions,
on-time
please stand by
departure.
for engine start until push is completed and brakes are set.
You're gonna enjoy the walk to Montreal. Nice one, guy. Also, thanks to the 283 of you kind of tuned in. Thank you very much for hanging around. Themselves was good. Does the camera work? Sadly, it does not, thanks to MSFS not having the same sort of stuff it had in P3D, or the older versions of P3D. So that doesn't work, sadly. My first ever on-time departure. Ooh, boo. Right, I know GSX said not to start engines before, but I'm just going to start them anyway. So, we'll start the engines. So, engine ignition. So we'll hear the packs turn off. As you can hear, it's quieter. There it goes. Quieter, quieter, quieter. As the packs turn off. And we'll start number 1. See if I press the PA.
Emergency exits at the rear. 4 in the middle.
Hear the safety PA's on it doing its stuff. Is Gary here? Is he? Oh, he is. It's always funny when my family are now trying to group FaceTime me. Nope. They chose a good time to call me. You recognise that safety number? Yeah, the proper safety number, not the one that there is now. Right, so that is a good start on number 1. We'll start number 2. We have a subscription. It's Matt. Thank you, Mashman, for your 29 months. My annual stream, I know. How are you feeling better yet? Are you feeling better yet, Gary? I should be pulling us forward. It is. So I want to see close up of the. So you can see the lovely. See the pixels. Yes, pixels. We like pixels. Pixels. Yeah. Can the thermal printer? Yes, it can. I don't have mine plugged in, but you can still use it. New one's hideous. I've heard. I've not personally been on an aircraft yet, but I've heard recordings of the new one, and yes, that's just no. No, no, no. What have they done? Miscooked prawn. Oh no. Just plug it in. Not today. I know all my sim having a fit because I plug a USB in. Oh, Norman obviously will know.
Please set parking brakes.
Cool. So parking brake is set. We have another sub.
Unlocking gear.
It's Scott's Guard. 2 months. Thank you very much. Cool. So that's done. To norm. AP bleed off. AP master off. Cool. So that's good. One thing I'm not going to do. It's not actually snowing too much, but should I? I'm debating now. Because we're going to get de-iced, I am not going to config my aircraft. I'm going to leave it as we would. And now my family are trying to call me again. Ignore. So I think the windows are modelled right. They look right to me, to my eye of flying these things, or having flown these things.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Where are you, GSX man? GSX man? Where are you? There he is. He seems to look like in a bald spot there for a second. Right, wait for him to show us the pin. Yay, perfect. So we got a nice pin, so that's all good. APU's just turned off. What I need to do is, because the way I got my controls set up, I need to do my rudder check now, because I'm going to use the rudder access for... I think my rudder pedal's being annoying, that's always fun. So I don't need to put too much left rudder in anywhere. The problem with these rudder pedals, I need some new ones. Cool, so that's now on the thing. As I said, I'm not configuring the aircraft because we're going to be de-icing. So let's do that, and we shall start taxiing. Parking brake is released. Let's change that. There we are. Right. A little bit of power to get rolling, probably about 30% just to get some speed up, and then we'll bring it back to idle pretty much. There we are, so just creeping forwards, needing a little bit to go. Yeah, they don't need to, that's true. I'm in the captaincy, Kian. Yes, Garrett, I remember the GSX man rising out of the ground. Very moody weather here with the snow clouds around. So, what we're going to do, we're going to taxi down here, a left turn on Bravo, and then a right turn a bit further on. L8 Virtual being gifting a sub. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Sorry, has been gifted a sub from Tim. Thank you very much, Tim. Very kind of you. Right, I don't know. We don't need that. So yes, the reason we started engine 1 first is because single engine taxi on the 320 series. 330 we still commonly start number 1 first, but we can start number 2 first if we need to. So that is yes. So it's generally an airline, if they tend to do single engine taxi stuff, they will start number 1 first because you can only single engine on number 1. Right, so we're gonna go left turn here onto Bravo. Further down, obviously, to the de-icing pad, which we have obviously selected as number 2. So 2 central. Cabin's ready, which is nice. He gets around, doesn't he? It's the easy key. He thinks he knows what he's talking about. How often do you do single engine before takeoff? Quite a lot. Obviously, there are various rules against it. So obviously, usually if it's like contaminated, wintry conditions, stuff like that, we won't tend to do it. But you can do it on a wet taxiway, so that's fine. But obviously, not getting flooded, basically. Yeah, normally if you've got a decently long taxi, why not? It saves fuel, saves engine wear. There's a lot of things really. And yeah, most of the time you can do it at max takeoff weight as well. I wouldn't really want to do it at max takeoff weight, but you can technically do it. Single engine takeoff 330. The problem with the 330 is we have to wait for engines for 5 minutes, not 3 minutes, as we do on the 320. So that is the one kind of problem, is that it's a long old time. But at Heathrow, sometimes it can take a while to taxi. So yeah, we'll try to do it. We can't do it on the 900 though. The Neo we can't. It's not much, but 5 minutes less wear on an engine over time, every year, is quite a lot. Yeah, if Heathrow's busy, yeah, it could be waiting a while sometimes. Right, this is Victor, so we're going to turn right here, start on the brakes a little bit just to bring us down to 10 knots before we make the right-hand turn. It is really nice to taxi, this thing. You can be really smooth with it, and it's really nice. Right, strobes on as we're going to be crossing a runway. And then we're going to make a right-hand turn, and then this is lane 2 here, so this is where we're going to taxi down to get our de-icing. Yeah, annual stream, absolutely. In my annual stream, the last stream I did was obviously some Concorde flying when obviously the FSLabs released Concorde. So oh yeah. Well, the PTU, depending on how old the PTU is, it can really bark away after shutting down. So I'm using my rudder pedals black box. So I swap between them, so I don't have a tiller. It's one thing I really need to get at some point. I'm just using my rudder pedals and just turning it and just being smooth with it, as you would be with a tiller, as you know. Just be smooth and it works nicely. Right, so as I said, this is lane 2, so we're going to turn left into here and then get our aircraft kind of set up for the icing. I would use a twist joystick, but my joystick is a HOTAS Warthog, so it's not twistable. If I twist it, something's go wrong. So there's one stop line, we want the second stop line. Shamrock, it feels really good actually. But like taxi wise, if you like properly slam the tiller on, it really doesn't like it, as you would expect the real thing. Obviously at higher speed, like below 10 knots, you're fine to slam it on, but it'd be really uncomfortable for the passengers. Right, stop line 2. So let's pull forward a little bit to here. Just around to see the stop lines, and keep getting a little bit more. That'll do. I need to move this view, that's kind of annoying. One thing I dislike about, again, MSFS with its camera. Cool. So the camera, that's set. So what we need to do now is prepare the aircraft for the icing. So what we would do, obviously I would use a checklist normally, but I tend to know this one, I've done it enough times. So we turn the bleeds off. So we're going to get a ding. We should get a ding. And then we are going to push. There we are, there's the ding. Which is just saying bleeds are off. Yeah, that's expected, so clear that. So obviously it's like shouting at me like, what are you doing, you idiot? Right, and then we're just going to push the ditching switch, which closes. If I find the pressurization page, you see the outflow valve closing. So this basically is to stop any fluids coming in. Dean, thank you much for the 36. Very kind of you. 36 months. So yeah, so bleeds are closed. The outflow valve is closed, so this should stop all the fluids coming in. So now that's done, we can press the in button. And hopefully GSX should go, oh, you need de-icing. Or you remembered you need de-icing. So should come over. Should is the optimal word. Hopefully I'm still in the spot for de-icing. Too far back. Too far forwards, I should say. Hey, Polar, hello! Am I too far forwards? That's all good. Hopefully. Am I too far forwards? Oh, I may have gone too far forwards for it, which is annoying. Yeah, I'm perfectly on the stop mark, pretty much. GSX. Yeah, that's all done. Check on not being a moron, I forgot to do something, because it does check that you've actually got the aircraft ready for spraying. But I think I am too far forwards, which is slightly annoying. Let me just see. Right pad number. Too far forwards. This is 5C. No, it should be 2. We go back here. It says you're looking at it upside down. This is 2. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'm too far forwards. Well, actually, we can do this. Let's request a follow me car. So it can take me to it. Like, follow me car, take me to where I need to be. Oh. Okay, they come now. Like GSX. Right, aircraft's ready for spraying, so they're all good. Perfect. So if we go inside.
Confirm aircraft is ready for treatment.
It is.
We begin treatment now and observe fluid tide 4, concentration at 100%. We'll call you back when ready.
Doesn't know how to differentiate 175. The Thales generally is a bit faster than the Honeywell. Honeywell's quite slow. And compared to me deafened, I'm just going to move further away because the de-icing sound is so loud. Right, let's go back inside. That's very loud. But if we get over here, you can see they're spraying us currently. Yeah, heft bill, which I'm not paying, so you can see they're spraying the green fluid onto the aircraft right now. Actually, while they're kind of de-icing right now, I will connect into. I'm gonna now jump into the voice room, so they've got. They are in there. Jump in here. So we're ready to go. So hopefully, while that's de-icing, if I unmute and do a bit of that. Hello, Duncan.
Hello, Johnny. How are you?
I'm good. Is everyone else going to join us, or are they just kind of watching at the moment?
I believe so. Just wrangling the cats.
Okay. Can everyone hear Duncan all right? Are we not hearing any echo, or is the volume all good? Needs to be louder. I can turn him up. That's fine.
Oh, that's concerning. You're going to turn me
Bit
up.
quiet. I know, exactly.
Now people are actually going to have to hear me. I do apologise, everybody.
Is that better? I've turned it up.
Anti-icing completed. Anti-icing
1,
coded.
2,
Fluid
3,
tide
4.
4.
Hello.
Concentration at 100%.
Much better. There you go.
We
Apologies.
like
You're going to have to
that.
listen to my dulcet tones at points.
Right, so we're lovely and de-iced. So now the aircraft is now lovely and green. We love the tight floor fluid. Very green. They really got the tail. Yeah, you have to hit Duncan. I know, it's disappointing.
Well, at least you're paying for it.
True. Yeah, it looks very like Aer Lingus, doesn't it, with all this much green on it. Right, because GSX is now completed, I can actually go in here. Wait for this to sort its life out. So it says in progress because it's still sorting itself. So while that's happening, we'll get the aircraft ready for taxiing on. So we'll reopen the ditching push button. Go back on the pressurization page, make sure it opens up. Air Canada, but that, yeah. Yeah, what we need, is definitely Umberto needs to, some of the effects needs to be a bit higher with the icing simulation, but definitely I agree. The spray needs to be more like a spray, not like a weird kind of projection on you. Right, that's opened, so we can turn the bleeds back on. Had enough time since spraying's completed. So yeah, the aircraft is now good to go. There's no precipitation or anything like that. Nothing that's going to cause any issues, so we can actually configure everything now. So config 1, that's done. 0. Right. Shall we carry on? You still wrangling them up, are you, Duncan?
I believe we're just waiting for Andy, who might be having some food. So
fair enough. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Right, let's continue taxiing. Power again. Let's get rolling. About 30% or so, just to get some speed, get a little bit of momentum. It's not like a 19 or a 20 where you can literally release the parking brake and it'll roll forwards, especially with the CFM. IE's a bit different. Yeah, it does look good with the lights on and stuff. We'll make a left turn to go back on ourselves and basically go back the same way we came to then go towards runway 23. Ooh, there you go, Dunk. There's a question for you because you like failures. Will extra vent faults be triggered if precipitation gets in the inlets? That's quite a nice little. I've not thought of that before.
No,
I've never seen it on the line, but it's. I guess it's something that could happen.
Yeah, so currently no. However, I'll go do some research and we'll see if we can get it added at some point in a relatively short future.
No, absolutely. Someone's asking about the time and stuff. Does the de-icing fluid have the same time limits? They do. So if you can see the de-icing is complete while I'm taxing forward, I'll be careful of this. Type 4, 7.25. That's the time, and we have a lot of holdover time free because obviously it's not raining right now, it's not snowing, it's not anything, so we have literally the max, so we have like 2 hours 40 of holdover time, which is nice. Let's think about it. Yes, I think Dunk will have like a 2 a.m, maybe 4 a.m sesh researching that. Right, let's set the strobes back on as we cross the runway. Obviously, I would normally look, but I'm offline, so there's definitely other planes here. And we'll turn left on Bravo and go all the way up to runway 23. And for those of you wondering why I'm using Bravo and usually use Alpha, I don't know if most of you, change as well, have used the Toronto scenery, but there's some little graphical glitch in sometimes when I've been on the scenery where there's nice little holes on the side of the taxiway, so that's why I'm using Bravo. Right, straight and true, so let's do some flight control checks. So full up, down, neutral, or left, or right, neutral, and the radar I've already done, so max auto brake, transport is good, weather radar, for what it's worth, just for the boots, windshield, all that lovely stuff can go on. And TO config, which is all good. I need to sort that out because it's really annoying me. Because I've tried to copy what when Gary wanted to look at the screens. There we are. Who have Phoenix 21 in a nutshell. Can you guys say what, in their opinion, is the reason to purchase the FSLabs? So for me, the reason why I like the labs is that when I fly this, it feels like I'm doing my job, literally doing my job, because I actually have to look at a tech log and see what the hell's wrong with this plane before I get airborne, which is a thing you do have to think about a lot. You could have an MEL for all sorts of things. You could have a brake that's in op. You could have an ADR or a screen that's in op, and have to think of the procedures that you have to do, how it's going to affect your day. Are you going to be able to actually go to your destination? Are you going to have to think about diverting because you can't do an auto land for whatever reason? So it's little things. Oh yeah, I need to do my trim as well. You can tell I'm used to the 330 because the 330 does it for me. But yeah, so little things like that are things which just add to the simulation, really, for me, and I love it because it makes me have to think. And obviously, with the failure models and the stuff that has been put in on top, so like GPS jamming, as I said, like the failures en route, you can have anything happen to you. The flight model is really nice to fly, so I can basically fly this as I would in the real world when I was back on the 320 fleet. Do like practice sims, get the failures, because there are... Duncan, how many failures have we got?
It's over 300.
Over 300 failures that we can have in this thing. So you could be pretty much like set for any sort of sim in the real world for when you get thrown anything. So there's quite a few. So we like our failures. We like having to think about what's going on, and obviously those little things that we have to think about as well with the brake wear, which I talked about before. You actually have to check that. You actually have to do a walk around to make sure that everything's okay. Yeah, just lots of little things that kind of just add and add and add and add that I love, and I will always try and fly this thing. How many? Oh yeah, that's a good thing. How many failures were in the P3D versions?
75-ish.
So we've more than fourfold increase of failures compared to P3D. So there's been a lot of work that's gone in.
I got excitable.
Yes, Duncan has been very busy with the failures. And obviously, with that, obviously all the circuit breakers now are actionable as well. So obviously, if an MEL that requires a circuit breaker to be pulled, you've got to go and pull it. You actually have to go and do it. Will there be a paint kit available? I know there has one been worked on. I don't know if it'll come out with release whenever that is, but that'd be obviously for Lefteris, I guess, a question.
Well, hello everybody.
Oh, here he is.
Hello. The paint kit will be available shortly after release. Yes.
Okay, perfect. No, we're not, Riyadh, we're not playing the CB pulling game. No. Was the volume for Lefteris okay? If not, I can turn him up. Right, coming up with your right hand very shortly. All good, perfect. Thank you, Mr. Nagy. Spot on, we like that. Does FSLabs require any external plugin to render the PFD ND? No. Nope. It doesn't need anything, it's in the sim.
It does require a control center to run though.
Of course, yeah, we need control center to run, so obviously there's the external program outside, but that's, yes, slightly different, I guess. Is the APU and engine fire test mandatory now? Well, you gotta check everything. You may have a bottle that may be out. You may have all sorts you have to think about. Do all the CBs work? Duncan, do all the CBs work?
I'm not aware of any that don't, unless I've missed something.
And if they have, yeah. we send Duncan a message saying, "Can you please fix it?" And within 10 minutes, it will probably be fixed. So, Draco Dead, no, it will not be on the marketplace. Right, so we're getting rid of Arch, so let's do that. All the lights are on, packs can go off. Let me set the trim, because you guys were moaning at me that I hadn't set it. Out there for at 1.4. And let's do the transponder. And because I obviously have been taxiing around, it was ice conditions earlier on, I'll do a little ice shedding which is basically I need to have 70% power in the CFM. This is different than the IE, but 70% power for 30 seconds, and then we can take off. So just a little bit of ice shedding just in case we picked up anything during the taxi out or while it's being sat basically. Right. Shall we go, shall we? What's the vibration is currently at? 1.2, so slightly more than normal, but nothing crazy. But yeah, so let's do that then. So let me start the chrono. Set 70%, or 50 first. Make sure they stabilize, then up to 70. So that is 50. 70. Start the chrono, 30 seconds. Just get everything ready so I can literally just release the brakes and go. And this is always good fun doing this type of takeoff because you literally feel the aircraft wants to go. Off. That's 20 seconds. Another 10 seconds to go. 7, 28, 29, 30. Let's go. Alright, man, flex 54, SRS, runway, and auto thrust is blue. Yeah, 30 seconds is a very long time. Than you are on a 320 or a 19 because obviously it's lots more heavy, this aircraft with the same sort of wing. And we're also fairly light, so it's not so bad today. Right, instantly for climb. So climb. So accelerating away, let's turn pack 1 on. On. Yes, so yeah, the rotation is very nice in this thing. You do have to think about it. It unsticks nicely. You have to think about 10 degrees because that's when the tail, your stabilizer goes into ground effect. So you just pull it a little bit more to get through 10 degrees. And we can also do a direct to sever. That's not what it wants to do. That's what it wants to do. Right, start to the left. Nice through airspeed, flap 0. And we can actually continue the climb up. I think 250 start, and I'll double check what the cruise altitude was, because I've forgotten. And we got a bit of cloud layer around, so let's get some engine anti-ice on. So you can hear the, as we've accelerated, here's a bit more of the wind noise on the windshield as well, which is a really nice touch. I think I'm going to put the autopilot on now just because I've seen something on the Ice Pro. Something there. Yeah, there was a little bit of ice that's built up. So let's... The engine anti-ice is already on, so let's put some wing anti-ice on to help us out with that. Right, and also finish up. So flaps to 0, so let's disarm those, get rid of those, and get rid of the landmines as well. all these little things you have to think about, especially with this thing, because you've got a little bit of ice that's just sticking out on that probe. Very useful little thing when the aircraft itself doesn't have ice detectors on board, because it's an option on the 320 series. So this probe is very useful. And another little thing which will catch people out because they're not going to think about it. That ice is on there, but obviously once we're through it all and the ice is off on the wings, the ice doesn't. Well, I think it's minus 30 outside. Well, obviously when you're at cruise, with that, the ice doesn't melt, so the ice may be there for quite a lot of your flight. So you have to. It's kind of a little gotcha. You're like, oh god, more ice, but actually no, it's still the ice from before. Ice, all the ice. Right, so we're through 10k airports on the EFIS. Right, obviously we don't need timer anymore. Need a de-ice ice probe, exactly, yeah. There's no heating element in there. So, Nagy, so obviously you'd look at the wing, and obviously look for any ice build-up on the wing. You'd usually it's awkward on the 321 because it is that far back, but you'd literally look for ice on the leading edge. So, and again, you can kind of see that with the labs. But at the moment, I'm just leaving it on as we just go through this layer of cloud here, just to help us out, so we have to keep looking back like, oh yeah, it's definitely still there, or... Yeah, and of course, as Blackmore says, if in doubt, turn it on. It's not going to harm you turning it on. You can only fly in summer temperatures. You still can get icing in the summer. You can fly through some higher layer cloud. It's below minus 40. You can have a lot of moisture in there. Have I missed anything else? Have you seen enough? You want it now. Oh god. It is 004, but no, I'm not doing any accents. I still have not recovered from well flight doing the accents. So actually you can kind of see that ice is built up a little bit more on the probe. There's a bit more of it now than there was. It does build up quite a bit. Yes, climbs are it does. The 321 321 a bit more so does struggle to climb. What were we wanting to climb to? The Awesome's 315. What we were filed at was 3.7. To be honest, I'm probably just going to climb up to 3.3. Just because most option was 3.1. Of course it changes because I've changed the data. Let's do 3.3. I'll leave it at 3.3. So we're going to leave that as it is. So we'll climb up to 3.3 now. Let's put the FCU 330. So 33,000 is blue. We're through this cloud layer now, so we can definitely turn the engine anti-ice off. And I'll give it another minute or so, and then I'll turn off the wing anti-ice. Nathaniel, we're not playing marbles, no. I have noticed we're missing the temperatures in the cabin, so I guess we've had a small failure. I'm going to double check what the reset is for that. I assume it's just a CPC reset, but double check that in a minute. Damien, thank you for the follow. Right, that'll do. Bring anti-ice off. And we'll take the seatbelt sides off as well. Left there, it's probably a question for you about Scalarchy hardware. Someone was asking, is there going to be like an extra price to include the use of Scalarchy? Have we thought about that yet?
As we said in the black box stream before this, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to repeat this, there's a new Scholarity interface in the works in the hands of testers, so there's going to be an announcement on that very soon.
Perfect. There you are, Wilkes. Ah, Sam, hello. Long time no see. So Wing, I remember you've written something in the forum about Wing, haven't you? Saying that it's a SDK from them. If I remember correctly.
What's going on with Wing is that they want us to expose some stuff on our end rather than the other way around. They're not providing an SDK, so I'm not exactly sure how we can do that for them or how we can work with them, but communication lines are open.
Yeah.
And if anyone from Wing is viewing the stream, they're very welcome to email me.
Yeah, so it's just a bit of communication that needs to happen.
We do have mini FCU in our hands, though, so
yes.
We're going to work with that when Dunk gets some breathing time.
Yes, come on, Dunk. stop doing hard work and doing some more work.
I just saw the bus come by.
So, Goat Friend, yes. So, for the tech log, as I said earlier on in the stream, when you've done your flight and let it obviously compile, obviously the 5 minutes basically after, so the box is reset, you can then take your tech log, send it to someone else, and they can take it and fly with that basically. So if you had any failures that you picked up that have gone in the MEL, they will have them from your flight. So if you really break your aircraft for whatever reason, then that's on them. You're gonna be really horrible to them and just give them some horrible failures. But got to remember that you can't just say, "Oh, I had an engine failure." That won't get an MEL. You can't fly again with it if you've had an engine failure. That sort of stuff will be fixed before. So, within reason, stuff that you could actually fly with for an MEL. So, be that a light that's gone in op, or like a pack that's in op, something like that. A bit different to an engine failure. So yeah, it's as I say, a virtual airline. It's absolutely perfect for it. So you just need a little repository, kind of upload it, download it. Yes, Broken Plains Weddle. Yes, your favourite. Right, so obviously we'll stand on that. Let's go standard on the ISIS. Right, everything else is looking good for now. While we're here, we can actually grab some weathers for our arrival into Montreal. So we can grab that. So it's selected as Montreal. Let's see what the weather is when it comes through. There we are. So currently, not a bad day actually. 270 at 11, 15 static miles, a bit cloudy. -1, so it's fairly cold. So it's not looking too bad. It will look good for 2 for right as well. So we'll leave that as it is. I will discuss some of this stuff in the ATSU once we're at cruise, but as I said, I'm going to try and if I can change the system on the for the temperature sensors. Trying to think of the reset. There is a way to swap the systems. I don't know what it is on the 320. There is a quick and easy way to do it. I think it's putting this into manual and then putting it back into auto. I think swaps it, but depends if that's the issue. So let's put it into manual. Back into thingy, see if that fixes it. It may not, but manual for 10 seconds. Okay, I thought I did it too quick then. So I can see which system it was. I'm on system 2 at the moment. Let's change it. So let's do 1, 2, 3. Oh. 9, 10. Right, that's about 10 seconds. Let's push that in. So we're on system 1 now. As you can see, it is swapped over to system 1. Let's see if I can now see temperatures. I can't, so it's just a thing that I'm going to have to live with. So I can see how warm it is for me, but not the passengers. Continuum, hello. Long time no see. Hope you're well. Is the printer working? If you have a external printer like you could in P3D, yes, that works as it did in P3D. Why made it? I don't have anything to do with that, Kian. I just have a galley fan fault. I'll double check that. It shouldn't be related, but then obviously I've got a forward galley, which is very dirty. Let's see if this one. Okay, let's... Lots 2107. Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah, it may have been. I should have actually done something. Ian knows what he's talking about, I think. Right, which one was it? So it's 21, 23, 01 Bravo. It's almost if Kian flies this thing. 01 Bravo. There we go. Number installed 1, number required 0, placard no. Maybe don't simplify that all duct temperature indications. Yeah, so there's that one. 2 amber crosses replace the cabin zone temperatures. Oh, it's almost as if it's done it correctly. Dunk, your system works.
I was literally been having a panic for the last 10 minutes that I'd stuffed
So have
that up drastically. So I've just had all the documents open. I was like, I'm pretty sure I've done it right.
Yeah. Yeah. He uses the forward cabin selector and the aft cabin. Yeah. During operation. In the case of continuous operation of the lavatory trash fan, yeah, you just need to pull stuff. Only if you have a burning smell. But we do not, so we'll leave it as is. So yes.
I'm just going to go and have a lie down and
yeah, good.
let my blood pressure and heart rate slow down.
Hush you, Kian. So yes, would help if I read the MEL. Gosh. You spell burnt toast, can you? That's another issue, Riyadh. Just do a little bit of... Oh, she's looking nice. So yeah, the Xbox controller decides to connect. We are looking nice. Riyadh's done a very nice paint, so he's painted this one. And obviously, as you, oh yeah, one thing you notice, obviously, where's the de-icing fluid gone? Well, obviously, the de-icing fluid is designed to come off the aircraft at a certain speed, usually about takeoff speed. So literally, once you're airborne and in the climb, it basically all of the de-icing fluid pulls off the aircraft. It's probably because I've turned the sounds down, Chuck, because obviously I used to get deafened, so... And obviously, you think we're moving through the air quite fast, so the sound is kind of a long way back. So obviously that's why you can hear so much wind noise up here. Work with the industry-leading repainters. Who are they? Who are the industry-leading repainters? Pretty. How long does it take until it's available for 24? Well, obviously we're gonna get it into 24 first, and then obviously you're gonna test it. Not just go, oh yeah, it's in 24 and we'll release it. That's not how it works. I think we're leveling out. J-Aviation Towers, for example. I think I saw Towers has been on a, I think it was on the Facebook post he did respond, I think. I don't know if he was going to pick it up or not, but... J-Aviation, I obviously, I don't know who he works for. He's done quite a lot of paints for everyone, hasn't he? So, obviously, once they get the paint kit, I'm sure that if they feel up to it... Duncan, question for you. Again,
hello.
I think you related to it. What version of the FMGS are we simulating? Because I know we're different between the between the Sharklet and the wing defense, right?
I believe we're on S8. There were
S8.
some. We weren't on S8 for P3D. I believe we are now on S8.
You're now fully
maybe a
S8.
sprinkling of extra things. So yeah.
Nice. There you are, Dean. Yeah, so we're now fully S8 with a bit more. So 1,000 to go. So no, Tom, it does not have the latch descent. That's a much newer bit of software. That's typically seen on Neos, and obviously I know there's a few COs now that have been retrofitted with it, but that's a very new bit of software.
I've I've just been poked and told it's S7 with an extra sprinkling, or S8
Okay.
with an extra
Fine.
sprinkling.
Okay,
Apologies.
S7 with a bit extra. Okay. What have I missed? I talk about 24. Still being a bit fragile, yes. It's one of the reasons I haven't really installed it yet, because obviously I kind of was watching during release day, and then I was just like, I'm glad I didn't install it, seeing all the chaos with it. Well, Drake are dead. Obviously, when FSLabs release stuff, normally it's usually in a release state. They don't really do early access sort of stuff in the same way. So they'll make sure the product works before releasing it. They don't want to rush it. Right, so the cruise. So let's knock the TCAS to below. You want to look around the flight deck. So what do people want to see in the flight decks? Obviously, we can kind of look a bit more kind of closely at the FCU. Is this actually looking in here? Oh, it does. Oh, I say that. I can't move. I can only look around. I can't change where I am. Probably more of a question for Lefteris is more testers. How do FSLabs find testers? How do they decide who to join the team? Ben is asking, would they be interested in more testers to provide more information for certain things? For example, like a level D technician.
I mean, if an EasyJet ex-pilot left for another airline leaves, then we have a spot open, probably.
Who's that? It couldn't be me.
I don't know. I can't give out names. Sorry.
It's not just me anymore.
No, I mean, we always welcome people who are, close to the industry and can provide us with their knowledge. So yeah, send in to info@flightsimlabs.com. Send in your email, and we'll definitely consider it. Yeah.
There you are. It looks too clean. There's a little bit you can see a little bit of wear and stuff on the buttons that are used. You can see it's a bit more shiny around stuff. It's kind of it is admittedly a very clean flight deck, but it is still got a bit of wear and stuff. You can see dust and stuff. If I move it a little bit closer, you can kind of see some of the texturing detail and stuff like that. There's bits of dirt around, bits of dust. There is a little bit of wear and tear. It's just very looked at. The pilots look after this plane. Not like some of the state of some aircraft I've flown before. You see crumbs everywhere. But you can get right up close. It's very nicely detailed. Like even zoomed in, it's still the textures does look really nice. See little kind of specks of dust and stuff. It does look very, very nice. Down here. Looks like a 320 cockpit to me, or 321 cockpit, I should say. Will the loo flush? Well, the loo has been flushing since P3D. For those of you who've listened out in the past, you can hear it from the flight deck. Usually you hear it when the seatbelt signs go off, typically in the climb. You hear it flush because someone obviously they can get up and walk around. And again, you usually hear it on the ground when you're boarding. You sometimes hear it.
And it might be worth noting the occupied light on the aft overhead.
Oh yes, of course. If there's someone in there. If I move back a bit, there's no one in there right now, but the occupied light, yeah, does work. So, Papa Charlie, this is related to an MEL of all things. So obviously in the tech log we had an issue with the Lavin Galley fan. So, which then obviously was dispatched with an MEL, which I slightly disregarded because I was like, it's only a little thing. But no, that was obviously quite a big thing, that it killed the sensors for the forward and aft cabin sensors. But yes. Right, how long have we got until top of drop? There we go. Not too long, about 40 miles. So let's do some planning for the descent. So it wants me to enter the destination data. I'll also talk about this once I've done that. So let's do weather, perf, descent. Yeah, 742.6 is fine. QNH down below is 2988. Temperature is -1, so slightly chilly. Again, we'll have to think about icing on the way down, so a bit of engine anti-ice, wing anti-ice, if required. 270 at 11. The minima, which I can grab from the chart. So we're landing on 24 right. Just got the chart here. I'll be good. I'll show you on the on here. Obviously we've got Navigraph. So it should hopefully import. So press import, and obviously we got some charts here. So let's look at Montreal. So approach. We are on 24 right. We click it on here. Let's put it in night mode. Like it on night mode. So the minimas are 306. That's in there. Gooey. Go on then. Oh, so that's obviously working nicely. We can also go into... that's that one. Star as well, so obviously going on the Habs 7. So quite a few at or below restrictions. So I'm going to put 3,000 in the window, because obviously that's the bottom of the star. So still another 30 odd miles or so. So we'll just set it now, pre-select it. 3,000, just have to need to remember to push it. Yes, so you can see it on other devices. So let me grab it on mine. So that's so let me put on Chrome. There we are. So let me smaller. It's kind of a bit big at the moment. Because I got a widescreen, it kind of makes it look a bit stupid. So yeah, so I can do on here and just do put the random passcode in. And then, so you can obviously do what you need on here. So I can go back into massive balance. So it's all on here. I can obviously you can see where the current. Obviously we lost passengers in the final load sheet. This little button down here is for going home. Obviously you got all sorts of new. Obviously everything, but as I showed before, maintenance, Navigraph. And it works really nicely in this, and obviously you can use this in an external tablet as well. So that works really nicely. You can use it on an iPad. You can use it on like just any tablet really. Your phone if you're really into it. Yeah. And obviously I can see on here into night mode, so you can see all the weather and stuff around. So you see the routing. If there's ATC online, obviously I'm not online, so that's not going to show. And yeah, pretty much it all the way down. So but this basically shows what's in the FMGC as well, the routing that you see on here. It's very nice. Yeah. The button if you broke your home button. Is it the same one? Obviously, I'm not an iPhone user, so I don't know. Right, what's the Mr. H attitude actually? Mr. H is 3,000.
I was gonna say iPhone user.
I don't use that. None of that. Right. And also, how long is the runway? We are looking at 24 right. It's 3,000 to go to 10 levels break. What's Mike saying? People arguing about random texturing things. Standard. Right. Start go down. Why can't we all be friends? Right, so into thrust aisle Des. We've got for flight level 30 blue. Pre-select this 2988. Pre-select this 2988. Always nice hearing those engines roll back. So, ship on the ground in about 20 minutes. Oh yes, one thing I did say I would look at, we haven't yet. So on here, because obviously we're in flight now, the AOC menu changes from like the departure stuff. You can select your stand gate. So before, obviously if you had an airline pack, you would get a message through assigning you a gate, and then obviously it would then pre-fill here. That still works. Obviously I don't have an airline pack for Air Canada for stands. So I can then look at what stand the real one does. I can actually quickly have a look what it did. So where's 414? Let's see where it parks. It's going to park. So it went to parking stand 48. So let's see if that's what it is on the chart. 48. Yes, so it should be just number 48. So all I have to do is type in 48 onto there, and obviously if there is a stand 48 in the GSX profile or just on gatewise when you land, GSX will automatically set the stand for you when you land, so you don't need to go into a menu looking for it. Just literally type it in 48, you land, it loads up, does it all for you. If you need a follow me car, because I know some airports like to use them, like in Spain, Portugal, etc., you can request a follow me car, so when you vacate, a follow me car will come greet you. And obviously if you're looking to get off the other end, you can request a crew bus to come get your crew off. That was in P3D as well, the request crew bus. It's just an option with GSX, obviously, to deboard the crew, which is really useful, and one of my favourite features that is even over the MEL. No, I'm kidding. The MEL is still still my favourite thing in this. But being able to just type in your stand and not have to go dig through the GSX menus to try and find the stand you want. Lovely lighting outside. The sun's starting to come down. Turn up the floodlights a little bit, just a little bit. So obviously when it gets darker, they will see there a bit more because there's a slight little glow there. Good on the overhead. Does the coffee machine work? Sadly, that's not modeled yet. You never know. You never know for the future. It'd be nice. Tom, you asked a sensible question. So in your failures, you can have service base. So at the moment, I am on high failure rate, so I'm kind of more likely to have a failure at some point. And failure mode, I have all. So basically, I can have a failure on anything, which has caught me out multiple times. But MTBF stands for mean time between failure, which is taken from Airbus data of how often certain failures happen. So Duncan has obviously done a lot of research, trying to get all this data. So yeah, so you'll have the failure rate as per what Airbus say happens. And then the percentage clear and reset is obviously if you have a failure, like a pack 1 that says that off and on, it's a percentage chance that it'll reset basically.
Do you want me to just give some numbers to the rates?
Yeah, go on then. Let's hear some numbers from Duncan.
Here we go. Okay, so MTBF, so mean time between failure, that's the fleet average for last year. I say the fleet, the worldwide in service of the 321. That's based on those numbers essentially. It's such a small number that I'm not even going to try. It's 0.23 times 10 to the minus 10, something stupidly small like that. Low is going to be 1 in 25 flights, medium is going to be 1 in 15 flights, and high is going to be 1 in 5 flights based on a 2-hour flight average. So that's when you'll see a failure essentially. Yeah. So 1 in 5 for high, you'll see one failure for every 2 hours, 5 flights of 2-hour length. Really put my... Sorry, I'll put my teeth in a second, but maybe Johnny can put that.
But no, I especially like it being on high and stuff, because obviously there's been a few times we'll be doing little group flights, and I've left it on high and all, and we're like, oh yeah, we're flying from like Edinburgh down to Geneva, was one example we did. Literally got airborne, passing 150, and I hear and then obviously a rundown of engine 1, as I have a delightful engine 1 with damage failure. which was yeah. Thank you, Dunk.
No problem.
So every time like we have any sort of failure, something in the MEL or something in flight that happens, we kind of now said we get dunked basically. So it's all because of Duncan. We have all these fun little things, which just makes the flight much more enjoyable in the sense that you have to think a lot more.
So it's also worth noting that the modes, if you just show me the screen again for a second, Johnny, if you don't mind, just because I have a very small brain today. But if you go with all, then the thank you. If you go to all, you can end. Basically, a failure will happen that can end the flight. If you go with minor, it's going to be minor failures. It's nothing that's going to ruin your day, and that's what we default to. If you go to none, it actually just turns the tech log into a paperwork exercise. So you're not going to see any of the impacts on the aircraft, but you can. You'll still get all the paperwork and bits and bobs and see your aircraft aging and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's obviously a thing as well. Like we obviously with the meantime between failures and stuff, and the older your aircraft is, so depending on its MSN number, will affect the failures you get, and how more likely you're going to get a failure. Be your MEL have more things in it because it's an older aircraft, a bit more tatty, and then obviously you'll have more issues while flying as well. Which is really nice.
So if you're flying a jet with an MSN under 1,000 and it's got a few hours on it, it's probably going to be
a fun day out.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting day out.
Yeah.
I think the most realistic setting is going to be MTBF.
Yeah, MTBF is, because then, definitely.
If you want to get more out of it and have maybe a slightly more dynamic experience in the sim, keep it slightly more interesting, then, medium or high, and things will break.
That. Yeah, exactly that. So there you are, Jonesy. Put it on MTBF, basically. MEL, yes, it's all related per aircraft, so per livery of aircraft. So if you have this one or you have another air handler, they are separate tech logs. Yep, dynamic bug splatter, so you can just about see one on the screen ahead of me. You got a little splatter there. So again, the dynamic as it was in P3D. As you can see, the ice is still on the probe from earlier on. Let's turn the light on so you can kind of see it a little bit.
So Johnny, somebody's talking about a coffee machine working.
Yes.
You can't even see the coffee machine working, but I do remember that if you turn the CD off for it, it'll actually drop the electric load for it.
There you are.
So in a sense, it is working.
So you can really wind up the cabin crew, just pull the kind of circuit breakers for the galley stuff, wait until how long before Norman calls you.
Yeah, I think that would be amazing if Norman could come in the front and say, where's my coffee?
Yeah. Is your cold coffee?
Can I jump in again, Johnny?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Sorry, I just didn't want to step on you, mate.
No.
Yeah, so your actions with the airframe will have an impact. If you take the aircraft off-roading, for whatever reason, there is a risk that you will fault the engines and do some damage.
So if Genko's watching, watch out.
Yeah, exactly. If you use excessive reverse thrust, kind of below 50 knots, 40 knots, somewhere in that region, again, you can do some damage. Your brakes are going to wear, so if you land really heavy and you stand on the brakes, and then you don't take any cooling action or anything like that, you're going to exacerbate the wear on the brakes, and all this kind of stuff. So it's a full little dynamic feature.
Yeah, absolutely. Chuck, you asked on a sunny day, does the light from the sun heat up the wings and fuel? We did that in P3D and FSX, I think. It's been a thing since the FSLabs has come out.
Yeah, same with the cabin.
Like that. Same with the cabin. Yeah, temperature and stuff is all related to external factors, be it cloud cover, temperature, obviously outside air temperature, everything like that, and number of passengers. It's always been simulated that. So there's nothing new with that. Tom, maybe. I was going to say, you've heard, I think some things have been shown. I'm trying to remember what videos have you released. I'm trying to think, have we heard the Norman extra calls?
No.
I don't think we have. So there are some things which Norman could call you for.
You could trigger it.
I could trigger it. Do you want me to trigger it?
I got no problem.
Yeah?
Left Terrace hasn't said anything, so yeah.
Well, yeah, it's just one of them, so...
So what am I supposed to take,
actually no.
sorry?
Let me do it on here, so you can't see what I'm doing. It's just, if I do this quickly. See if it kicks into gear.
Cool. Once you do that, just to answer Jonesy's message, they're not at the moment. We have big plans for the cabin coming, so the mail items, etc., will extend into the cabin. We could be waiting up to 120 seconds here.
Oh, okay. That's fine. We're in a slow descent.
I am, of course, looking for royalties here.
Oh, there he is. the norm, well, the man himself is Mr. Norman.
Johnny, just to respond to this message about the medical emergency.
Yep.
I wouldn't feel too right about having things like that. in
No,
the
it's
sim because,
pushing it a little bit.
It feels a little, yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I'm now questioning myself.
What about the 2-minute thing?
Mm-hmm.
Does it not have to be below a certain altitude?
That's above. He's in the
Oh
cabin.
yeah, you're right. Yep, got it.
Oh well. Well, people will get it at some point. So when it obviously is released at some point, people will get it and be like, "What the hell's this?"
Yep.
Mr. JW, hello. Is there a rough time frame for the Neo? There's not, I guess. It's kind of as if by magic. Smoke, laboratory smoke. Okay. Oh, let's obviously see what they decide to do. If we get a call from the cabin, I can try and call them myself. Oh, we need to see. Going for the cabin crew to get back to us. I'm going to leave it up for a second. And it can take a while in the real world as well, as they're obviously dealing with it right now. Doing that, I suppose we could put the belts on because we are approaching 10k. Norman's really having a think.
I'm going to push the leveler from.
You haven't heard Norman's voice in so long, since your last flight in the labs. Well, let me hold it at 10,000 for a second. So Tom, I believe it's related to obviously the belt's been off and you above certain altitude, because obviously we wouldn't have someone in the toilet beforehand.
Maybe Norman's decided it doesn't want to talk to you. So
No one doesn't want to talk to me.
I'm assuming so. Yeah. Apologies.
It's alright. There we go again. But yes, people smoking in the labs, never good. Right, let's put the engine anti-ice on as we're descending down. Landing lights on as we're approaching 10k. ETOPS, I'll leave that for when it's released if people can find out. It's a bit surprise. Right. Into the dark clouds. Nice, we still made our restriction below 9,000, so that's good. Can you hide the EFB? It's still an option in the McDo, isn't it? The options, but it's requires a sim restart.
No, not independently though.
Not independently. Yeah, the loud smoke warning. Yeah, for cabin crew and pilots, it scares the hell out of you. Oh, the random sneeze effect. Yeah, I remember that. Back in the, and obviously then putting the tray table out to have a coffee put on it. That was odd. I remember that back in the Aerosoft days. Right, just in case, obviously, because we've still got ice on the Pro from before, I'm just going to put the wing anti-ice on as well. We caught her back to the profile, which is nice. So just downwind at the moment, so we're going to bring it, obviously take it past Maxod, and then pretty much turn ourselves back round towards Lonna. Yeah, Norman's probably still fighting it. That's exactly what's happening, yeah. An irate passenger who's been smoking there just doesn't want to stop. Very dark now below these clouds. Suddenly, yeah, the sun has definitely set quick. Oh, Tom, as I said, I won't spoil the fun. Alright, so we're going to hit the decel point just around about the Agnag point. Obviously, I'll activate the approach phase at the magenta D symbol. Back to green dot. Obviously it wants 210 knots at Tidas, so obviously we'll take flat 1 for that because our green dot is 217 or so. Chuck, I agree. Alright, through the clouds, which is nice. Papa Charlie, yeah, of course we can. Speed up star. So obviously you can tell it's one of the older descent models on the Airbus, as still quite a lot are, because it's got a level off segment to do its decel. Obviously with the new latched descent, that is now the CDO descent, the constant descent, which obviously is the newer style, which on some Neos, and obviously they retrofitted it as well. And obviously some people may have noticed, obviously I've selected brake low, and obviously that's come on the PFD as well, which obviously on the is a newer software update. Take the flaps 1. We'll blow the clouds
2,500.
Move the engine anti-ice, just leave the wing for a second. Right, galley fan, yeah, as expected. Look at that. Gulfstream, hello. It's from a very fancy bus, yes indeed. Oh, that's always fun. I'm looking too low for photogrammetry. Thank you, MSFS. Nice server issue still. Don't scare me like that. No, Dean. Again, it's a software update. So again, some CEOs have been retrofitted with it. I know that EasyJet's done that with quite a lot of theirs. Mickey, it's in development. That's all I can say. I'm sure the devs will say the same thing. It's Concord is in development, and they'll release news when there is news to release. There you are, Kian's there with the details for EasyJet, of course. Right. That's right. Oh, 50. Turn these on. Hush you, Kian. I just realised. You make a good FO someday. Wait. Inching away. Alright, flaps 2. Back to 180 knots. So we should see a nice little balloon. There it is. You're scared. Anything I feel, Norman. Right, armed it all up for the approach. So GSL Blue, Cat 3 Dual, AP1 + 2. Got is identified. And the DME is based on the India uniform Lima. So let me just get on here. Am I misreading it? No, it does say India uniform Lima, so I guess Navigraph hasn't got that in, or the scenery hasn't got it in. I could try and put the frequency and see if that's got it. Let's see if it finds it. Hey, it does have it. That's at the other end of the runway. So we've got Lockstar. No pressure, I know, exactly. Pilot, it'd be fine. I would have been, Nor would be screaming at me now if it was all going badly, so. All the Airbus drivers, yeah, exactly, we're all here. Right, visual 2-4 right. I can turn the wing anti-gas off now, I don't need that. License live. You see how much I smashed this into Montreal. All the pressure on with 220 you watching. You like the night lighting though, it does look really, really nice. Let's turn the brightness of the FCU down a little bit so I don't want to have as much of the bleed. Right. Approaching about 8 miles or so. 180 knots, looking good. Glide slope star, 3,000 set for the missed approach. No, Oscar, not you as well. We don't need you starting. Oh, go on then, I suppose. Right, let's manage the speed. Get it out. So yes, remember, it's not a 330 exactly. With the nose gear coming out. It's a bit of a lighting effect ahead of us. flaps 3. Waiting for the landing moment to appear very shortly. There it is. The landing is no blue. Try not to break this plane. The wind is very slightly from the right. Oh, believe me, Blackbox did plenty of the raw data flying for both of us. I'm showing you how it should fly an ILS, right? What conditions you'd use flap 3? Usually on a longer runway, preferably, so because obviously you're going to come in at a higher speed. You use it a bit more when it's gusty conditions, because it kind of helps with it's basically handling. Basically, you get with a bit more speed and stuff, you can fly around a bit more. I'll try not to put a crater in the runway. Do that, I'm going to overflare. That's usually what I like doing. Duncan has seen plenty of videos from me testing this of me overflaring it, haven't you?
Absolutely no comment, Your Honour. We've all got faith in you.
Yeah, still a little bit of ice in the probe. As I said, the temperature's still quite cold, so it's not going to disappear. Yeah, thanks, Tom.
500. 400. 300. 100 above.
Right.
200. Minimum.
Continue.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard 10, 5.
Right, going down. First screen and peace out. Hey, I didn't do too bad, right?
That was abnormally good.
All the pressure. Right, 70 knots, idle reverse. Manual brakes. And we'll come off for the next exit. Go. Alright, welcome to Montreal, everyone. I'll take that landing. It wasn't so bad. Wasn't so bad at all. Obviously, we can look at how what that was like once we're on stand and shut down, because the FSLabs records all that data. Right, where am I going? I'm going to stand at 48. So let's get the chart up. Let me just slow down a little bit. Strobes off, landing lights off, taxi lights. We'll get the APU going, kill that. Kill that. What's MSFSisms? Oh, the glyphosate pappies. Yeah, that's an MSFSism. It was pretty good though, actually, most of the way down. I wouldn't complain about that at all. Let's kill the 3. So let's find out where we're parking. Parking spots. So let's taxi for I don't know why I'm looking. There's no one else here. It's just me. So I'm offline. So 48 is kind of in front of the where the tower is. Okay. Cool. Hi, Chaz. Long time no see. So hopefully, when we get towards 48, we'll see GSX should be waiting for us. So it's kind of all down that way. So I'm going to take this left turn into the apron. So it is about, yeah, pretty much the end of that. So the APU's kicked in. So we're going to follow this down to the right, and then 48's down here. And pretty much, by the time I get to the gate, we should be able to shut down an engine. I didn't start a timer, but it's been long enough. That's 52. I guess it's one of these ones. 89. I think the profile this was using is not towards the GSX. That's not good. Okay. 48. I must have done something because of the VDGS is working. Yeah. Stop. Alright, parking brake is set. Okay, so I've not gone too far, which is always a good sign. Right, if you leave on, we can shut down. Right, 2000 already. Put that to above. Cool. Wait for them to drop below 10, and the doors to disarm. So doors are disarmed, so seatbelt signs can go off, and we're below 10, so it can go off. That sends fuel tanks off. Hopefully, we should see GSX jump into life and hopefully connect everything for us without us having to do anything. Hopefully. Yeah, we'll have a look around the cabin very shortly. Oh, there we are. The controller's working because it's got sound, which is deafening. So, again, didn't have such a thing. GSX did everything. Right, let's do a bit of deafened by that bell. It's so loud. So let's go into the exterior. Go inside, shall we? We'll watch the passengers deboard. Everyone can now get up and wander around. Once they've been told they can get up. He's still playing on his Switch, reading a magazine. I'll slow the camera down actually before I do that. GSX is happy for everyone to get up. I think people are starting to...
Ladies and gentlemen, your portable electronic devices must not be used until you are inside the airport. When disembarking, please take care and hold on to the handrail while walking down the stairs. Please ensure that you supervise your children For your own safety, do not walk underneath the wing.
So at the moment, Tom, it's part of the exterior model. At the moment. That's just gonna get everything off. Yeah. Oh no, here they come. Yeah. Someone else appeared. I was like, there was definitely one person there before. This guy a bit too tall for the cabin. Bye. Yeah, so the passengers will get off now. So yeah, so there is a cabin. But there is, I'll just say there's more to come with the cabin in future iterations. But the nice thing about this is that you can literally go out here, you can see the cabin is lit up from the outside, which is really nice. Just being able to look through and just seeing the lights on. Yeah. We somehow made it a decent landing as well, which I'll take. Here we're milling away. I know, Tom, that would be quite cool if it did simulate everyone just standing up at the same time. So this is the CFM. This CFM engines. Obviously, the IE engines will also be coming out at the same time. Obviously. Hey, who is giving us the raid? I'm gonna guess. Looking at that thing, it's a Kenko raid. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's very kind of you, Mr. Ian. You literally did it as we landed. Typical. But yeah, you can. For those of you just joining from Kenko's stream, you can enjoy the external model, and obviously we'll have a look around inside again. So those just joining can have a look. We just landed in from Toronto. We just landed into Montreal. Oh, here he is as well. Thank you for the 9 months, Mr. Kenko. Both been late. Too late. So late. Did you have a good flight? Did you manage to actually land on a runway? We were saying that if you get this, Kenko, with your many excursions that you have off runway, it will bite you in the arse, basically. He crashed. Of course he did. Where was he flying into? Ah. Opinions on the FSLabs? I think it's a great add-on. I think for what I want to use it for, which is kind of basically using it as I would the real thing, it's really good. Like, it's got, like, with the MEL simulation that you kind of have to think about every flight's going to be different. It's not always going to be the same. Like, you get on and go. And the funny thing is, and I've talked to other, having talked to other testers and stuff, and the real world guys who test as well. The funniest thing is when you get on and you see the APU is in on, and you have the same reaction as you do in the real world, which just kind of says something. That just shows that there's that level of realism that you're just like, for God's sake, you're like, your day's ruined already just from the APU being on. And in your head, you're just screaming like many horrible things about Duncan for giving it to you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, exactly. But no, the sounds good. Obviously, as I said, you're not going to hear too much from the outlet valves because it's -1 at the moment, so the outlet valve is going to be closed and the inlet's going to be closed. There's less noise out here than there normally would be. Yeah, the FSLabs broke now, yeah. Yeah, I can imagine if Ian flew this, he'd have quite a few issues. So in here, that breaks it hot, of course. So we got 320, that's not too bad. Fairly, only just into the amber. So actually I can go to the set log now. So obviously I can see all the time. So we got our out, off, our in, and then on time, or on and in time. Don't think it's got anything. Oh, it has. So we can actually look on here. So so the date of flight, 1st of December. Air Canada from Toronto to Montreal. Hour and 28 was block time. Flight time was 55 minutes. Landing rate -154. I'll take that. Landing pitch is about right, what I expect. Flap 3, people on arrival, and obviously, yeah, my crew code. So as I said, if you share this, so I could share this with another, I could share this with Duncan, for example, and I would see on his, if he did a few flights and gave it back, I would see like my flight, and then I'll see his flights as well with obviously his crew code. So again, you can kind of laugh at other people if they do like a minus 500 feet a minute landing, which Duncan may probably do, right?
Sorry, say that all again.
I was just saying about you smashing it in most places, and obviously if you shared your tech log with me, I could then laugh at your landing rates.
Oh yeah, 100%. Most people laugh at my landings anyway, so it's just, you know, a factual record of that.
Yeah, so obviously, yeah. So, example, if I sent it to Ian, Mr. Kenko, I don't know if it has a destination of water or overrun or something like that, but maybe Duncan needs to add that just for you.
It's a little pickup flag from somewhere in the Pacific.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Little things like that. But yeah, so actually, let's turn some of the lights on in here so you can kind of see the flight deck a little bit more. For those of you who just joined and stuff, obviously I can change the time as well. I'll make it a bit lighter so you can kind of have a look and stuff at all the little things. Yeah, poor Kenko. It's just normal, standard Kenko. And obviously in here as well. This is all done now, so this is now basically pretty much. Is the next page? Yeah, so obviously because we've now passed the 5 minutes after doors open, basically. Box has reset itself. So now we can basically start again. Get it all booted up, ready to go to our next destination. Ooh, that looks nice with the nice bit of wear on the SD buttons. See a little bit of oily marks, which is very standard for seeing that. Hello, I'm not in 24. I'm in 2020. So pop-up displays, yeah. So I can press Alt and click on the display. Oh no, right Alt, not that one. So I can bring that up. Obviously, it's massive, which you can't see. Let me. I think I can show this. Let me add. But basically, yes, you can open it. I'm trying to think how I can show this. A window. Let's do it with a display capture. So you can see, yeah, you'll see it, lots of stuff here. But yeah, so I can open this basically. Shrink it down, do what I want with it. Just kind of put it here. I can open this one. And like move it around. Put it here for those of you who like to kind of sit. With a view like here, you can still see everything as you would before. I think that you can't drag it to the monitor right now, right? Is that an Asobo thing, that you can't drag these windows to another monitor? If Lefterius is still here.
I'm still around. Actually, you can. You can drag it
okay.
to the window, but
yeah.
you can't interact. You can't interact with it, so you can't click on the MCDU that you pop out as a 2D panel, which Asobo can't do.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, should be able to work. I mean, I don't know if you've been tested right now on the second window. You can tell right away.
But yeah, so that's one little thing you can do. As I said, like for those of you who like to sit like this, trying to land it with like the cool camera angles, yeah, you can have a little ND and little PFD here while you're doing stuff.
While we're talking about the displays,
exactly. Yes. Hello.
One little feature that I added, which is probably taking things a little bit too far, it must have been a slow day. The light leaks that you get around the displays are all dynamically generated, so whenever you load in a livery for the first time, it dynamically generates them for all the displays that have light leaks, and then it saves it to the airframe. So this airframe will always have those light leaks now on those LCDs.
Yeah, and I think
then if you load up a different airframe, and then the Sharklers have a different style of light leak around the LCDs.
Yeah,
it's just little details like that.
I think was that after I sent you a photo during flight, and you were like, "Ooh, that looks nice."
Oh yeah, Mid-Atlantic. Yeah, that was. Yeah.
You're like, "Oh, let's do that," and then literally I land, and it's you've already done it. Yeah, nice to see, but yeah, like you can see little bits. So it's a little bit of light leak around here. It's more noticeable on the blue screens of the Sharklets, I think. Obviously, and this is where you do notice it more on the Sharklets. You see a bit more down on the left side of this one. No, it does look good. Yes, the TikTok zoom out angle, exactly the one that's just kind of sat right up here. watching for the approach, basically. Yeah. Does anyone have any more questions for the devs while they are still in a voice room with me? Yes, sharklets are included already, yeah, so it's all one product, i.e. CFM and sharklets, and obviously Wing Tip Fence. Obviously, I know the devs will ask quite a lot of questions from Black Box's chat. One question, when release? Is it soon?
Well, I think everybody will know before Tim does.
We're just going to leave Tim hanging, basically. So I saw a question, Svenny. Where was that question? So is the current MEL fixed? Is the current MEL fixed? That's the question. Go back to that log. Nope, it's still there. It still expires in 9 days, so they don't have to fix it now. They got 9 days to fix it.
It won't fix during return because it assumes you're away from home base.
Sure, that makes sense.
So, yeah. Next time you load in, there's
maybe something different.
Depending on the workload for the maintenance team, inverted commas, you may have something may have been repaired, but then equally somebody else might have taken the jet for a spin once you've been out and broken something else. So
exactly, little things. Lab smoke, I think that's all gone now. The passengers are all off. I think Norman either has caught fire himself and we haven't heard it back from him, so I'm sure it's fine.
We did trace that. I think you just tripped into the conditions where it was inhibited. So
there we are. Okay.
About that.
That's all right. It was, typical of us doing it in the descent.
Yes. I did just test it at flight level 120 and it worked beautifully, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But we've added a different dynamic in terms of some of the interactions between the cabin crew and the flight deck.
That's it. So yes, at some point, obviously, if you didn't fly this aircraft for a few days, or even if you flew it the next day, it may be fixed because the engineering obviously found time to fix it. So yeah, it does go. No, there's no slide deployment. Well, it'd be very cool, but there's no slide deployment.
Yet.
Yeah, there you are. Yet. Quite impressed with the price. We have 7320s about in the market. I wasn't considering this, but very tempted. It does look pretty. Well, that's kind of what Black Box and myself have been trying to do, just to kind of show you the product, basically. Because all you've seen so far is 3 videos, which is obviously showing some neat little things off, and then also the screenshots on the website. So we're hopefully going to, have changed your mind, or at least given you some insight onto what myself and obviously Black Box as real operators, how we feel about it, kind of passing on to you guys, basically. Ozzy, this question was asked a few times already in the stream already, but so it's the wing is to do an SDK between the two. There needs to be some lines of communications opened to work on that. And mini cockpit, we're waiting on Dunk, basically, or the mini FCU, whatever it's called.
Again, that bus. Yeah, it's in progress, and Skolaki we've got versions for Skolaki currently with our testing team, so
there we go.
It hasn't been forgotten.
No, not so. Yeah, that's it. Right. While this is still here, let me do a shutdown checklist. So let's start turning things off. Passengers should all be off by now. One way I can actually look at this is looking at the asset balance, see if they're still empty. Yep, everyone is off. So let us turn the APU off. Don't need that anymore. We've got ground power. Start turning crew supply off. Turn the ADAs off. Fuel pumps. Gotta wait for the APU to fully turn off before we do anything. Emergency exit light, no smoking, can go off. Let's turn some of these lights down. Floods can go off. Integrated lights. That's already off already. Everything down there is already good. Let's get the APU page up. Glad I can still remember which SD page is which, because the 330s, they're a different order. Which I still get stuck between the two. I'll sometimes look at it and go, well, that's where it is on the 320, and it's in the 330 is a completely different place. I'm glad I've stopped reaching for the parking brake here, though, because the 330, the parking brake's here. Which is not helpful. Right, just waiting for the APU to turn off. We'll turn the batteries off, and then we'll turn the ground power off, and yes, you'll the sound, the very good sound of just it all Heading off.
Devil Badger 101, are you sure you want to watch YouTube or...
What's that? I completely missed that.
I just saw a comment by Devil Badger 101. He was saying he wants to watch YouTube.
Oh, watch YouTube on it. I swear we, if I remember correctly, Andy watched a YouTube video on it for the trailer. Does it still work? Duncan is now rapidly typing to try and see if it works.
I think so.
You think it still works?
Yeah, I think it works. I must say, I haven't had the need to try it.
No, exactly. I've not either. So, ooh, I opened 2 links. Here we see, shall we?
As long as it's anything PG rated and below.
Well, get that. Times. I have to accept it. Oh, there we are. There we are. So, I find the that. Can't quite reach the search bar. Something online.
You could probably start typing in it, no?
Oh, I can. Aha. Look at you being clever. I can watch the video on there.
Nicorette lozenges are clinically proven start fighting.
Yes, it works.
2 minutes.
There you are.
The Black Friday sale is here.
It's so good. I get a thing. It's not really embarrassing, Riyadh, because it doesn't log in as me, so nothing embarrassing here, honest.
I was going to say, that could have been a train wreck.
Nah, no. I knew it wasn't going to log in as mine. There you are. So there you go. Still watch
I was
videos.
just seeing the
with
ad
sound.
on the top right, and it was like gorgeous Ukrainian women. I don't know what that was.
You no, I don't know what you're about. Yeah, so watching a video of the FSLabs in the FSLabs, which is all very cool. There you go.
And your
People
frame
asking,
rate
can you watch
didn't drop,
YouTube?
did
You
you?
can. What's that?
Did you lose any frames on this?
No, don't think so.
Good stuff.
It's all very weird. Right, here we go. So let's turn off for the night. APU's already off. Oh, it's so good, the sounds of it turning off. Yeah, the APU light would have already flashed if it was going to flash. But yeah, that is it. All outside now. All you can hear just a little clinking of the engines as they're windmilling in the wind. Right. Final little look around at the exterior, and then I think that's going to be it. Obviously, Lefterius, Duncan, Andy, and Norman, for the brief second you were here, thank you for kind of coming in and answering questions. I'm sure the chats were very much appreciative of that, because obviously it's all well and good me saying stuff, but actually having you guys here and actually telling them legit information rather than me just making stuff up and thinking I know better. Yeah, thank you for all coming.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for not absolutely smashing it in on the runway, mate.
I did feel all the pressure. I was just like, I cannot smash this in, because it was just looked so bad on me, and also like people think it's the plane. It's definitely not the plane. It would have been me if I had smashed it in.
Well, you can try smashing the tail next time you take off. But yeah.
Yes. Yes. Someone's asking about the pedestal looking bright. That's due to the 3D lights. That is a MSFS-ism, and I assume it's similar probably in the 2024 as well. It's just one of the scenery lights that kind of bleeds through. It was the same in P3D as well, so it's kind of one of those things which is very difficult to avoid, and does brighten up everything because of scenery developers like to put the lights on like max brightness.
Just wanted to say thank you very much for having us here on the stream. It's extremely nice to see you streaming this aircraft. It's a product of love. We're all simmers above and beyond, so anything else is just icing on the cake.
Absolutely. Right, I think that'll do that. So I'm gonna mute you guys as well fully, so you can't hear me. But yeah, guys, thank you again for coming on, and I will probably talk to you at some point soon.
Have a good night, Johnny. Thank you so much.
Cheers, Johnny.
Later. Right. That's all gone with that, so let me mute that so if nothing comes through. But yeah, guys, again, thank you for tuning in. I will probably, because I'm free tomorrow, at some point tomorrow, do a couple more flights of this. If you guys have any ideas, do pop it in the Discord for what kind of flights you'd like to see in this, because I'm sure I'll be doing something else. Fun related, of course. But yes, I'm sure Riyadh can post a link to Discord. It should just be ! Discord, to be honest. We could do a group flight, that's very true. Bristol Ops, oh god. Yeah, I know, more than one stream, what's going on? I'd saying that, I did more than one stream last year, when obviously Concord was released. I did 3 days. No, 4 days, because I did a 7-3 flight to start with. But yes. Do some check. Well, Ian has he has requested that. Well, and most of his chat has requested that we do some stream like shared cockpit at some point. Obviously, it won't be in this, but I know he's asked to do it in the 330 in 2024, which I need to install first, but I'll do that at some point. Yeah, we can quickly just look at the VC in some different lighting conditions. Let's just put, obviously it's off at the moment, but I can change the time of day, change the clouds. So if we can put it to the day, let's go like there. Let's turn the weather off so it's a bit more like scattered clouds. So you can kind of see some of the lighting and stuff in here. You've already done it, Riyadh. I saw something's already appeared. You don't need to spam Discord for bloody hell. But yeah. So this is obviously with a bit of daylight, so you get a bit more. You can kind of see the oily marks where people have been pressing the buttons too much. Let me bring it around a little bit, actually. Let's do it. See it? We're at an awkward angle, so you're not going to see. But I kind of, in my opinion, I'm looking at the colours and stuff. I do like the colours. They've definitely nailed it on the grey, blue. It does look really nice with the colouring wise, especially with the different lighting conditions, because the problem with MSFS is the way that it does stuff with like the AO, like the ambient occlusion stuff. It does sometimes make stuff like either go really dark, really light, but I think FSLabs have done a decent job actually with getting the colours right. And obviously with some of the texturing, like, as I said, I can go right up close to this, just see like the texturing and stuff like that, and seeing like dust marks and like just dirt marks, things like that. It's nice. And there's like I don't think it's so much on these, like randomly there's a few screens that got some fingerprints on as well. Blue, yeah, grey, blue. But no. Anyone want any other angles or wants to see some of the lights? Do people want to see it in like horrible thunderstormy weather? Well, I know what I could do. I'll need to give power back for this if we're doing this. So let's turn this back on. Oh, it'd help if I could actually do that and actually hold the button rather than just for a split second on it. Right, so let's do that. Let's do a bit of storm. Bring this down a little bit. High density. All the clouds, all the scatter. Atmospheric. Right, let's turn so you can see all the lights on and stuff, so you can see all the, sorry, not that one, all the atmospheric effects on it, basically. It does look good with all the lights on. Some rain on. Raining. Ah, rotation. All the rotation. So you can see all the volumetric lighting that's gone in. You can see the shadows on the ground from the wing light reflecting the engine. That's really nice. Snow depth, yes, it's 15 degrees. It's not going to do much. I don't think if I have a Lufthansa plane installed. I do actually, so we can load one up just to have a look at it if you'd like. Yeah, very moody. Blinding everyone in the terminal. Showing snow. Hang on. Okay, let's get some snow, shall we? Temperature. Yeah. Did you get a snow? Or is it because I've got the how do you look at the layers in this thing are very confusing. Right, I should do some snow. Snow. Lots of snow. Lots of depth. Lots of humidity. It doesn't seem too much snow falling. Let's just turn the lights off. Snow? Hello? It's not usually dev mode, because I can, obviously I do use dev mode all the time in this thing, so there's snow. I put the humidity up. I'm just fine. Rain's doing stuff. You're doing stuff. GPS jamming, yeah, we could do some GPS jamming, definitely. Obviously, you can go to Cyprus. I know Blackbox was doing stuff earlier. There's also other places around. There's a few in the US, which have got like military places where they do jamming stuff. There's a place in the UK where they sometimes do jamming stuff. I've had that happen a few times going into Bristol. Yes, so Gulfstream, that's what I was trying to show you if the snow was working, but MSF decided it doesn't actually want to snow. But it does accumulate on the aircraft, which is really nice. Yeah, so you will see it accumulate on the wings, on the fuselage, on the tail. Right, shall we go and look at... and load into a Lufthansa plane. So someone asked very nicely to look at Lufthansa. You just hear the clicking still as it's unloading the aircraft. Click. Click. Ding. Ding. Nah, Tim, I thought you'd like that. Tiny symbols, exactly. So hopefully, just waiting for it to all be unloaded back to the main menu. It takes a bloody age. Sometimes go back to the main menu. There we go. So, see which ones I've got installed. So, yeah, look. FSLabs, 321, Chocolate, Wingtip Fence, IEs, Wingtip IEs. Try to which I have are Lufthansa. So you can see a couple of ones I've got installed, basically. There's a couple in here that I have. So not those. Which one do I have which has Lufthansa? No, there's a couple I have installed as well. They're not. These aren't all the ones. There are loads more I haven't downloaded. Oh yes, some good American ones. IE, but not okay. Aha! Lufthansa. Do you want the Star Alliance or do you want the new colours? There you go. Dunk said there's 110 paints so far. You want me to go in dairy? We'll go to Frankfurt, shall we? I think I got Frankfurt installed. That's good. So, daytime. Live weather. In. Is there a Airbus house livery? Ooh, I think so. I think there is one. I remember someone was painting it. There are a few old airlines which are being added. I know there's an old BMI like hybrid one. There's like a few. Well, I suppose it's old. There's a few old paints. I won't give too many away. There's Thomas Cook, of course. There's Monarch. They're the typical ones which everyone remembers. Yeah, US Airways. I forgot that one. We've flown that one a few times recently around the US. What did we do last time, Red? Was it? We did DCA to LaGuardia. Oh yeah, so you actually had one of the custom backgrounds, obviously, Lufthansa. What's wrong with this one? So we see if anything's wrong with this one before we go outside. See if Lufthansa are looking after the aircraft. They are. We just got a 6 ABC overhead handrails cracked with temporary repair of duct tape. That's thank God. I think, yeah, it's just we had one of the issues loading some things, but other than that, it's dairy. And you can see we got a nice ASU connected as well. Yeah, so it's looking nice out there. Saviour's the duct tape. The duct tape, speed tape is the best. But yeah, everything is good on here. It's just not loaded something right, which is slightly annoying, but at the end of the world. Look at the left side of the plane. Ta-da! just for you, Tim. So you can see it on there. I don't think, is there any other details on the side here? Where's the welcome on the door? But yeah, right, I think there you go, just for you showing that off. We'll leave it there. Kind of leave it looking at this sort of view. Door one left or something, does it? Ah. Oh, there you are. Yeah, I've pretty much all my settings on Ultra, indeed. There you are, Tim, just for you, the little handwriting there. Right, cool. Yeah, as I said, we'll leave it there. And I'll be back tomorrow, hopefully. Yeah. Thank you again, everyone. The performance is really good. As I said, I think people are comparing it to Phoenix, but for me, like, I've always had really good frames in this. But yeah, it's all been really good. Who should we go and raid? Is anyone online that we can go and raid? And people go, who the hell is Flyboy Aviation? No, we're not hosting Amaranth, Martin. God's sake. Who is currently streaming? Squirrel's on. Is Durka streaming, is he? Where is he? Is he on? Oh, he is live. Wow, long time no see for Durka. Yes, we'll go give Durka a raid. Guys, again, thank you very much for tuning in. We're gonna go raid Durka now, so give him lots of love from me. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. I'll announce in the Discord when we're going live. So yeah, keep an eye on that. If you're not joined the Discord, !Discord, get the link. And yeah, I'll see you in the Discord and see you tomorrow. Guys, thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Ooh, would help if I don't do that. Bye. I haven't put the button on my bloody stream deck. There we go. Bye.